Everybody, do what you do. The smile will bring you sunshine day. Everybody, do what you do. The smile will bring you sunshine day. Everybody, do what you do. The smile will bring you sunshine day. Everybody, do what you do. The smile will bring you sunshine day. Morning, keep on. Join our hands in harmony. Everybody, do what you do. The smile will bring you sunshine. Hey, everybody, do what you do. Do what you do. The smile will bring you sunshine. Smile will bring you sunshine. Everybody, do what you do. The smile will bring you sunshine. The smile will bring you sunshine day. The smile will bring you sunshine day. The smile will bring you sunshine day. Wow, Brammy boy was said you put yummy on my bro. Yes, sim bomb me down yes yo. That day I'm in dream made you. And now I hear Branty near to my own. Me move for your cuckoo, my mouth for you was sicko. Sika Selman, I watch my Ishibu. On my way, missing my chick from way. Where yes, he can consider him, I'm in it way. Okay, I can see her on Convidia. Hey, for no one, I mean, it's the game. That's the day, Nana. Stereo on a bonus style, a girl, I mean, a girl, I call her, my bro. Now my pussy and the same is so deep you. Easy and yet chesa. They I'm in Sabbath call my bro. Why? I am a tear my bro. Now my pussy and the same is so deep you. Easy and yet chesa. They I'm in Sabbath call my bro. Branty me bo, but if you watch it, me brewo we are see more. And son of many deal, lock in your kaya, a brabona ya high. And you be a pussy, and you know, see what you do. Anything but one day, but what was a mountain bomb, cause I copy my flowers through my every way. But I got tank no, say group no. But you gonna hang you now, baby, I say no. Wait, or being some you go, now be way. Me brame casa go be messy, because you go and get in the eye, man. I saw my friend, I do a mao, Gramana, me and Miami, want to really say yo. They really say yo. They really say yo. What? I am a branty, my bro. Now my pussy, and the same is so deep yo. It's the idea, Chesa. They I'm in Sabbath, but I am a branty, my bro. Now my pussy and the same is so deep you. It's the idea chesa. They I'm in Sabbath, cause every time I close my eyes, I see my name in shining light. Oh, a different city every night. I swear the world better prepare for when I'm a billionaire.
Let's have some good time. Thank God it's Friday. Good morning, everyone. Listen, everybody, everybody clap your hands. Alright, there's a message in the music, so everybody dance. Alright, let's have a good time. Oh, what a good time. Let's have a good time. Everybody, let's have a good time. Good time tonight. Let's have a good time. Oh yeah. Everybody, let's have a good time. This is the place where love is found. We all play a part, and if you feel it in your heart, stand up and shout and let your feelings out. Come on, so you and me, we're gonna have a good time tonight. We're gonna dance this morning light, baby. You and me, we're gonna have a good time tonight. We're gonna dance to the morning light, baby. So don't believe me, just watch. 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 Alright. Oh yeah. Good morning, everyone. I said, people, what you gonna do? You gotta get on the groove. If you want your body to move, tell me, baby. Or how you gonna do when you feel you don't want this? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Tell me. Or how you gonna do when you feel you don't want to dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. 'Cause I heard all the people say, get down on it. Come on and get down on it. You gotta feel it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Just get it on it. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. You gotta feel it.
Hey, it's a Friday. It's a funky, fantastic, fabulous. What else? Any more F's? Yes. Cool.
Yeah, nice. I just had to step out of the in case. Heading for my eye.
It's a crunchy Friday. Healthy, full of vitamins.
I can't cut to say.
I'll cut it for her. I'll cut it for her. I'll cut it for her. Smell it and see. The nose always tells you.
A guava maybe?
Make her smell, see.
That's passion. That's a tea. Oh, okay.
Yeah, passion.
Is that something you can bite into as well? Okay, we'll find that soon enough. We'll find that soon enough. Good morning and welcome to GTV Breakfast. And that's the hashtag you need to be concerned about this morning because we are serving you breakfast, sibling helpings of breakfast this funky Friday morning. Thanks for joining us.
If you haven't brushed your teeth, bite into an apple. I have brushed my teeth. But if you haven't brushed your teeth and you still want your mouth to be fresh,
these people are on the video. Oh, it's purple.
It's a purple thing now.
Oh, nice.
Mental health now. This month is mental health month. So yeah. So pink for breast cancer, purple for mental health.
Good one.
Yeah.
Good one. We hope that you're having a good morning as well. Are you ready for the weekend? Oh, what a shower it was last night.
It was a shower.
More than a shower. It just poured down and poured down, poured down. Serious traffic on my side of town.
I was asleep.
Good for you. I envy people who can just fall into bed and fall asleep.
Oh yes. I remember when my first son was born.
You were asleep?
No. We took him to the hospital. He was in the hospital. We hadn't come home yet. And he was screaming his lungs out. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to take a nap. They said, can you sleep here? I said, you watch and see.
And you
As
did?
the guy was saying, wah, wah, wah. I just closed my eyes and I slept, man. Yeah, I can sleep through an earthquake.
And good morning, Mrs.
Sorry, the mental health is actually green. So purple is actually lupus. And green is mental health, and pink is breast
I
cancer.
have a bit of all that.
Everything they
going
said.
on.
So today's show, okay. And talking of okay, he's original, he's knowledgeable, and he's here for breakfast. Yes. Who do you think it is? Who do you think it is? Just from that little line I gave you. Let us know. 055-556-1034. You won't miss it. You won't miss it. Should Valerie.
Let's go to her because she's just having too much fun on that side. We just need to
Good morning, guys. Welcome to my side of the breakfast table. You know, we always have fun on this side of the table, right? So today on my side, I'm responsible for handing over the fruits to Kath and Tea, and then we'll be looking at a quick, I don't know if I should call it breakfast, but you can have it during the day as well. And for foodies like some people I know, you can have it like all the time. So I'm going to do a little walk right there, and then you guys. So she's my guest for today. Her name is Constance, guys, and she's going to show us how to make quick go-to pancakes, crepes, and like, guys, look, I have chocolate. There's chocolate in here. There's chocolate. So guys, we're going to be looking at how to make quick pancakes and whatnot, and then she'll also tell us the go-to stuff, nutrition. I don't want to give everything away because on this side of the table we are made of everything nice and spice and chocolate and all the yams. But then the show is interactive, and so you can send your comments via WhatsApp number 05555610334, and then on our Facebook page, like and share, guys. Share to all the other groups you have. We are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, Twitter and Instagram, guys. The hashtag to follow this morning is GTV Breakfast. We'll also be keeping an eye later on with Jay and Alan in various parts of the capital. Constance, what should they expect later when you come on?
I'm going to prepare a nice crepe for you and a cocktail too, so be waiting for it.
Okay, so you see, there's cocktail too, guys. So I'm going to hand over to the couple guys. Hand it over to you guys.
We're going to move to that side very soon because there's food. There's Thelma. And you see how your voice is singing there. Thank you for joining us. Can I just say that as we do every Friday, Val and I are impeccably clothed by Red Cotton Boutique. Red Cotton, you can find them on Instagram. Follow their page for ready-made African wear, and they are the go-to shop for everything African. There's going to be a sale coming up. Wow, are we excited about the Red Cotton sale or what? There's going to be a sale coming up next month. Everything will be going for half price. So their stores are on the Spintex Road at East Legon. Everything at half price. If you like anything you've seen us wear this past couple of weeks, you don't want to miss the Red Cotton sale. We are excited that it's happening. We are all grabbing as much as we can. Get to the store, call them up, follow them on Instagram, go into their DMs and find out what's on offer. It's a 50% discount on Red Cotton clothing. We are grateful for their partnership, and they are responsible for my lovely look and yours as well. Millicent.
So great, guys,
great,
you can choose with Red Cotton. You can choose to go corporate, or you can choose to go Funky Friday like I'm looking today, guys. So it's actually a mix of everything. The shops are located is right there on the Spintex Road, and then there's one at Topunglo at East Legon, guys. Millicent is the go-to lady. You can follow them on Instagram and Facebook as Red Cotton Clothing GH, guys.
Okay, so American Visa Lottery. You know that thing where the American government just vacuums you off to America to go and work for them.
How many of you have tried it before?
I'm yet to try.
Never tried it.
I'll try today.
But there's some scams going on around the DV lotteries issue. So to protect yourself, watch the show from 6:30. Okay, tell a friend to tell a friend. Charlie, Yonki here we come, Yonki here we come. But people are there ready to take your money. Okay, and we want to protect you. Give you a condom to protect you from being infected by any scam. Okay.
Or we'll just report to Dampari these days. You know.
These days.
Dr. Dampari, good morning.
Charlie, if you are Dampari, it means you are in trouble.
They said yesterday we had something really funny. So the rate at which the police are arresting these musicians by December is like Tego sisters.
But why did the person say Tego sisters?
Be kind, guys. Be kind. Be kind. So listen, you're welcome to the show. It's going to be really, really exciting. And we're going to kick off with, six-pack matter. So you know the six packs, yeah. Stomach, can I show you mine?
No.
But how about a six-pack brain? Is that better than a six-pack body? Here comes Dr. Kofi Osai. It's on the six-pack brain. You're welcome. Good morning.
Very exciting, very humbling for me to serve you the wisdom nugget for the day, and nugget a day keeps the problem away. Our nugget today is very interesting. It's have a six-pack brain. Have a six-pack brain. It's very good to have a six-pack body. And I've been going to the gym actively for almost 6 years. And I can tell you, when I take off my jacket, you're going to see my six-pack. My children have been laughing at me at home about whether I really have a six-pack. I don't care what they think. I think I have a six-pack, even if they can't see it. But here is the point. It's not just enough to have a six-pack body, which is all the muscles all over you. It's more important to have a six-pack brain. Do you have a six-pack brain? Do you have a brain that has been exercised? Do you have a brain that is powerful? I like the story that I heard about someone. The person asked the child, if you went to the market and they were selling brains, would you buy a brand new brain or you would buy an old brain? But guess what? The child was smart. The child said, I will buy an old brain, not a brand new brain. Why? The old brain is the brain that has been exercised, that has been utilized, and not the new brain that is lying dormant. Do you have a six-pack brain? To have a six-pack brain is to read good books. To have a six-pack brain is to be observant about life. To have a six-pack brain is to have mentors that speak to you instead of spending time all over social media and, excuse me to say, sometimes gossiping or just wasting time. Can you spend time investing in your brain, accumulating knowledge, learning things that are productive, things that add value to your life and your brain? Because the brain is the controller of affairs of our lives. Today, as you go to the day, think about having a six-pack brain. In addition to perhaps trying to have a six-pack body, that's what you're looking for. But your six-pack brain can take you places where your six-pack body cannot take you. Have a beautiful day, and I look forward to seeing you again on the Wisdom Nugget for your day.
Yeah, we are back, and this is the breakfast show. It's the Funky Friday. There's food in the house, so I'm very, very excited. They are going to bring me one very soon. So we are proud to be associated with these awesome brands: Awake Purified Mineral Water, Shield Acrylic Paint, and Adonko Next Level Energy Drink. Also, Red Cotton Clothing for my lovely outfit. We are also proud to welcome on board the Tobinco guys, the guys from Tobinco Lufat. In particular, they are also sponsoring our health segment. Welcome on board. We know that Lufat is an anti-malarial drug, and there is the stuff that you can have for kids who have malaria, and there's those that you can have for adults as well. So you can take Lufat if you have a confirmed case of malaria. On the show, we promote good health, so we don't want you to self-medicate. So if you've been tested and diagnosed as having malaria, then your go-to drug is Lufat, and we are proud to welcome you on board. Let's do some social media trends, because Shatawale has not sneaked out of the news yet. In fact, yesterday he appeared in court amid, can I say, pomp and pageantry. Like, the guy is just he's still doing chobe.
Because he had to do that because a lot of the SM funds were there.
Okay.
Yes.
So he has to, tell them that he's in good spirit.
Yeah.
But he's still They say 1 week. Oh, 1 week he should go inside.
This matter. Well, the law has spoken, hasn't it?
Yes.
We don't have anything to say.
No.
Yeah.
No. Otherwise, that's why he watches. So he watches everywhere. So even if
Dampare will catch you,
he will catch you.
That's the hashtag now. Dampare catch you.
Some people say Dampare in action or the Dampare effect. Have you seen those on social media? Because as soon as you hear, look, now there's horses, there's dogs, and he's monitoring you in your when you are filming your selfies. He's watching. And
the IGP is number 4 on trends on Twitter. He's trending. Everybody's like, hashtagging the IGP. Someone says that if everybody was working in Ghana like the IGP, and Ghana
glass in glass.
I'm not saying some of this glass matter. So yeah, Shatawale has gone in. He's going to be in there for a week, and it's not just him.
He'll be back in court after the week.
Yes,
and
after
then we'll see what the court decides. To do with him.
Brings back what we've been touting. I mean, probably maybe the whole month about how people who have a lot of followers on social media should be responsible with how they deal with their social media posting.
But I have seen a press statement from a group. I've forgotten their name. Is it the YPSA, something, Youth for Peace and Security Africa or something? And they were writing in support of Shatawale's actions and saying that what he did was a self-protest against a few issues, and so it should be taken in that context and not in the context of
what did he do?
What Shatawale did.
What did Shatta do?
He allude or to kind of put it out there that he had been shot and he was receiving medical treatment, and it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Are there any gunshot wounds on him?
No.
There are no gunshot wounds.
I rest my case.
Yes.
And the case being, because all this case is in your head, and as awesome as we are, as awesome as you are, we can't read your mind. So vocalize.
Did he tell the truth?
No, he lied.
Are there laws in Ghana?
So the law.
Do the laws work?
Yeah, the laws are working, obviously.
So the laws are working. The laws have caught up with medical as well, because
the doctor. The doctor.
Medical is a physician.
Okay.
And he has also been picked up by the police.
What did he do?
Valerie will tell us.
What did he do?
Brandishing a weapon.
Okay.
That's it. That's it.
Oh, okay. That's
on
a gun?
social media.
All right. Is it a real gun?
Yes, it is. That's it. It's a real gun.
Okay.
Even if it's not a real gun.
Yeah. So to what
why
effect?
Would you?
Was he on a movie set?
I didn't know it was an offense to have a gun. Like, what's the offense here? I just want to be.
Why are you brandishing a gun for the public to? What's the essence of having a gun?
But I've seen other people do it.
Well, maybe they are going to be picked up as well.
The fact that somebody misbehaves doesn't mean you should also misbehave.
Yeah. There's ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Look, you know why?
In my case, the fact that I don't know is not an excuse for me to do it. I just know that others do not know as well. So it's worth being educated to know that if you do X, Y, Z, Dampare will catch you. Hashtag.
Right.
So
why this is particular? Look, so by the time Christmas go reach there, only Tegos is there going with
Ghana people.
So while the IGP is trying to clean our streets of all the bad things and what's not that's happening, and social media too is being cleaned. I mean, I've always been an advocate for clean social media. I mean, all these people are role models to huge people. I'm going to check in a bit how many followers Medical has on Instagram.
And I'm sure there's a free medical hashtag roaming pretty soon.
I hope it doesn't.
Maybe.
So Medical has 2.6 million followers on Instagram.
2.6
million followers on Instagram.
That's like half the adult voting population of Accra.
So if all of these people, maybe 90% out of this number, follow him or are role models, and they see him brandishing a gun, what does that say for the people who follow him? And I mean, hey, so the law is working. I will catch you. Sorry,
okay.
but
So if you go and do anything that the law will catch up with you. And another thing that's trending, the president is on a tour. He went to he's been to, I think, the Central region
recently,
and he's come to Accra yesterday. And of course, everywhere he goes, whatever he says makes news. And yesterday, it came up again, him trending on social media, his apology to the people of Cape Coast.
Yeah, well, he said he didn't. Let me confess, I made a mistake on the Cape Coast. Even with the mistake, we have to have a rethink. We cannot have a harbour at Takoradi and Almina and have another one at Cape Coast. But I have to apologize to the people of Cape Coast. Presidents are humans and they can make mistakes. Fine. It's an apology, yes. But then, because the background is that he said he promised a landing site, not a harbour. So now he's come back to apologize. But the question is, will Cape Coast have a harbour? Because after the apology, he said, well, we cannot have a harbour in Almina. We cannot have a harbour in Takoradi. We cannot have a harbour in Cape Coast. So after the apology, what next? Will Cape Coast get a harbour? That's the question.
But if he said they can't have it, then doesn't it presumably mean that they are not getting a harbour?
Yes, but the people of Cape Coast were expecting a harbour based on what went down before the election. He said, well, he didn't say that he promised a harbour. He's now apologized for that. But now he's going to say, that, hey, you can't have a harbour in Almina, in Cape Coast, in Takoradi.
So isn't that him explaining why they can't have the harbour, even if he had promised it? Isn't to say that presidents are human, because they are, aren't they? And
yes, they are.
Say what you want, but if you own your mistake, shouldn't that be commended?
I want to know whether there will be a harbour in Cape Coast.
But the man said there would not be a harbour.
Okay.
And that's why probably saying it now so that we all just start getting used to it, that there can't be a harbour in... There's one in Jamestown.
What kind of harbour though? Is it a fishing harbour? Or,
in London.
Well,
yeah.
Oh well, he's apologized. The president has apologized.
Well,
say about that.
Next trend.
We're still on the president.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, it's a trend.
The Aflao people are also not happy
yes,
with
indeed.
him.
Yeah.
So apart from Cape Coast people not being happy, Aflao people too he said something against a chief from their area.
Well, Kwame Sefakai, who interviewed the president of Peace FM yesterday, alerted the president to an e-block which the chief of the area said had remained uncompleted. And that he was giving an ultimatum to the minister to come and sort it out. Yes, in February of next year. And the president expressed surprise why the chief should be given an ultimatum. And then said, well, the Kwame said, well, he's tired. The thing is uncompleted. He said, well, if he's tired, he should come put it up, you know. And the people of Aflao didn't find it amusing at all. And it's all over social media. Yeah.
Well, so the people of Cape Coast are not happy with the president's apology, and the people of Aflao are asking for an apology. So one group has an apology, another group is demanding an apology. So all this is trending on social media. Tell us what you think about all these matters that we've discussed. You can join the conversation on our WhatsApp line 055-55-61034.
Is it not strange that in this long interview, I think the interview lasted a couple of hours, these are the only things that are trending, really, and it's because of the emotion attached to these things. So it just shows that you can have a long interaction and then people will just jump on two things and then boom, everything else is forgotten, you know. So yeah.
Well, Mourinho is also in the trend because of Roma. And I don't particularly...
Champion Mourinho.
Mourinho.
What happened? His team lost.
Every defeat leaves scars. I already spoke frankly and honestly to the players. The good thing is that no one will keep asking me why the same players keep playing Jose Mourinho. What's happening?
Okay.
What's happening?
Yeah, tell us. Why is he saying that?
But we are all here to tell each other what's happening and why. Why am I now being asked? So it's a 6-1 loss to Roma. Obviously, he's not enthused.
I challenge you to mention the name of the team that beat Roma. Let the score come back.
Which score?
Back
the name of the team. The name of the team that beat them.
I can't say it.
Even
it's what? Bodo something.
Bodo who?
I can't even say it myself. So
what is it?
Glimt?
Glimt.
Bodo/Glimt. Bottenberg, Sobaken, Pellegrino. This is a Norwegian team, you know, from Ole's town.
Ole, in or out.
Oh well.
So these are the goals.
So we are seeing what Jose Mourinho was frustrated about. 6-1.
Yeah, we suffered this kind of 6-1 before too, so we know how it feels.
Do you know one thing called Barcelona?
6-1 is cool.
6-1 is okay. It's okay.
But we lost to a team that has more quality than us. Bodo has more quality than our starters tonight. Well, he picked the team, so Charlie, he grew a beard on the touchline. See his face, rough like something. The music was not in his ears.
Well, Mourinho was not enthused, and so hopefully this will brighten up your morning a little bit. You have an opportunity to win some branded mugs because it's Friday on GTV Breakfast, and we are asking a question, another question today. Fastest fingers first. The question of the day is: name any of the two. So there are 6 people who are called the Big Six. Okay, name only 2. Name 2 of the Big 6.
Any of them.
Any of them. Any of them. I'm tempted to remove one name from there, but you let me just keep it there. Say that apart from this, but you can name any of the others.
You know what somebody's... I'm going to go into the WhatsApp and somebody's going to ask, is it the Big 6 EPL teams or what? What is... People ask questions like
Ghana's
that.
Big 6.
What's Big 6?
Ghana's Big 6. When you look on
I'm telling you.
there are 6 heads on
Arsenal, Tottenham, Liverpool.
Manchester United.
Manchester United.
And you mention your own team 4th. Disgraceful. So name any of the Big 6. The Big 6 of Ghana. Please, not what these people are lost about.
I'll bet you.
The Big 6 of Ghana. When you look at the city note, there are 6 heads on there. Name any 2 and you have the chance to win some branded mugs on the breakfast show. So this has been our social media trends. Let's get interactive across our social media platforms. Get on Facebook.
This is from
YouTube.
Mark, our favorite guy in here, guys. So Mark is wishing 2 guys at the airport Shell, Patrick Okan and Enokunyako. Mark Agoda is wishing you guys a funky Friday. He says you guys are amazing. So that's from Mark to you. And then the Cardiothoracic Center, I hear they are watching us right now, and so hey, yes, religiously. So the good doctor, Dr. Sibo, and the team at Cardio, and then Mr. Williamamuna, they are ardent watchers of us. So hey, thank you. I wish you a good Friday.
And before Thelma comes,
we are going on a break.
Yes, we know, but after the break, something is coming. Okay, it's about visa lottery scam. And if you want to get protected, you won't do the visa lottery. You won't go here. Don't let us for here. No, don't let us. We like you here. So that's something you want to know. That's coming up after the break. That is coming up. Now you can talk about where we are going.
Now we are going for a break. And we'll be back to talk about the visa lottery scams. Still ahead, we will be sitting down with the female panel to look at what's in the papers today. We will also examine what the crepe breakfast table will be doing in a few minutes. So I think we'll be going in and out so that we sort of catch every step of the way, maybe if we could. And we will serve you breakfast after the break. Stay with us.
Live from GV's The Breakfast Show.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is The Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is The Breakfast Show. This is The Breakfast Show. This is The Breakfast Show.
Hey, good morning. Good to have you here. Hashtag GTV Breakfast. Good morning, or should be good afternoon. Alidu Adamu, you are watching us live from Saudi Arabia on Facebook. Thank you very much for giving us your eyeballs. Shukran. Thank you. We've also got Wisdom Tagbo Car watching us on Facebook as well as Vreni Daikwo Kisei linking us on Facebook. If you want to join them on Facebook and send messages to us, go to Facebook, look for Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, and just follow our page, and then you can get all the updates and you get your shout outs right here to the rest of the world. Lufat tablet suspension, proud to be associated with GTV Breakfast. It's an anti-malarial medicine with 2 WHO recommended ingredients contained in the same formulation. It's Tobinco's premium gift to Africa against malaria, endorsed as the product of the year at the Ghana Farmer Awards 2021. Lufat, proud to be associated with hashtag GTV Breakfast. I am not proud to be associated with scammers and people who want to take people's money to go and do nefarious activities. God will punish you all. But while we're waiting for God to punish you, then you need to be also protected against these scammers. So it's the time again when people want to go to Yonki, and then other people are saying, okay, these people all want to go to America. Let's see how we can relieve them of their money. They decided that the money is too much in your pocket, and they want to relieve you through all kinds of ingenious scams. To help us decode these scams and protect you from getting your money lost up in some fake application, I'd like to say hello to David Jedu, CEO of DK Cyber Zone GH, to help us with this conversation. DK Cyber GH is our guest every Friday at this time. David, good to have you here.
Great.
So in the Department of State, the Office of Visa Services has been advising the public of an increase in fraudulent emails and letters sent to the diversity visa program applicants. So these scammers have been posing as U.S. government officials and trying to extract monies from applicants. Have you fallen into such a scam before? What was the experience? Did it put you off going to America? David is going to tell you how these scams work and how you can distinguish between the real deal and the fake stuff. David, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show.
Great.
All right. So straight into business, how do these scams work?
All right, and thank you very much. So these scams work in this way. So normally you receive an email. So let's look at the structure of these things. So one, there's a contact. In this contact, they have various ways they contact you. It can be through your email, it can be through texting, the social media platform, and also maybe through online. So in the email, what happened is you receive an email claiming to come from the said office or the US government where you've applied the application. So you receive it and they tell you that, oh, you've qualified. Then here, how do you determine if it's true? Right. So always what I do or I say is you have to inspect the link or the email that comes to you. How do you distinguish between a real email and also a spam email? One of it is always go to the official site official site. This we are talking about US. It can happen to any other visa application. So you have to go to the official site to check and confirm. Now, when you are talking about the US visa or the lottery, always what you have to do is you have to go to, if you are going to the official site, there's a site that we have to check. That's the dvlottery.state.gov/the ESC. Now,
dvlottery
yes,
state.gov
/ESC. Right. Now, when you get here, you know, when you are talking about the, assuming, let's single out the lottery. Assuming I have applied for lottery and I'm waiting for confirmation. Now, when I get to this place, what they give me, they give you a confirmation code, normally 16 digits, starting with the DV and the year you registered. Now, so to confirm that, you put in that 16-digit pin at this site that we mentioned, dvlottery.state.gov/ESC. Right. So when you put in there, it will tell you if maybe you've been selected or not. Now, when it comes to visa lottery, you are looking at visa lottery or visas that you have applied. Now, to also confirm that, after you inspecting the link, you can also reach out to the embassy to find out. Now, we normally fall into victim about these emails that we claim. Anytime that there is a logo or there is some company that we think is from the US or any state, we think that that is true, but sometimes it's false. Because what it is today is they have a lot of ways that they do attack us. Let me say this: we have links out there that people can clone, US government can clone any website, that they will impersonate the website and think that it is true. So there will be a link for you to go there to go and do your activities or to go and do whatever you want to do there. But that link wouldn't be true. It wouldn't be the right platform. So we have maybe US government, their website there, and you see an email that, oh, you've been qualified or you've been selected for this. You can get your application or your visa here. So click the link. Now they have cloned that particular website of the United States or any visa that you've applied. They've cloned it. So when you get there, you see the interface beautiful and well arranged like how the original is. So now what you have to check is, normally when the email comes, there are some elements we have to check. We have to look for spelling mistake, because there's no email that will come from such office and you will see grammatic errors and spelling mistakes in there. And normally when it comes, you see, they always want to get you. So there's always a time limit or a time bomb that, oh, you know, you do this within 3 days, do this within this set time. That time, that's when they are harvesting for such information. So we have to be very careful about that. And also, when we are applying for these online visas and these visas that we want, I always advise that as a human being or as someone who is on the informative superhighway, get maybe 2 or 3 emails. Now, this is why. When you have an email you are using for your online transaction, differentiate from your social media and your business. Now, assuming they are able to harvest the information about one, it doesn't get to the other one. Now, when you get into the email and the link requests you to submit in any payment details, right now you know that this is not the right process. Now, before you want to travel, I believe you have to read about the pros and the cons, how the US government, how you apply, how the application is getting to you as a citizen or someone who wants to apply, and how you can really follow up. So you doing all those due diligence investigation will now put you on the edge that you are very clever, you are very wise, and you know what you want. So you would not even be contacted by, sometimes not only emails, sometimes calls. You see someone will just call you that, oh, I'm calling from that office and I've seen that you applied for this and you are qualified. So let's meet at this place, let's meet at this office, let me help you out. Let me see some backdoor around this. They are all false that we have to look up to. When you are looking at the lottery, let me also speak about the visa lottery that we have. Normally, you see, you have a visa lottery coming up. They open the application that you can apply. So that's the time for the scammers, the fraudsters, to also set in and come in, because they've seen that that becomes a lucrative business for them, because that's the hot time, the peak. You know, we all want to travel, right? Great. So that's the time for them to harvest information or to get money from you. Now, when you apply, assuming you're applying from the cafe, this is it. When you apply from any place, after the application, try to close the link and close the history. Because sometimes it baffles your mind how these people get the information. You know, when they contact you, they get to you, they make it as if it's real. So they get your name, your telephone number, and even email attached to it. So you say, no, this is not scam.
How do you clear your history when you go to a cafe and you use their computer?
Great, thank you. This is quite simple. You use Control H. Control H brings you the history panel. Then you just go to clear. You clear it, or you go to the settings of the one. When you go on Google, you see there's a 3 dot there. You go to, you see settings. You go to history, you clear it, or the shortcut is Control H. Just press Control H, and the history comes and clear it. Anytime you are doing online transactions or you are doing online application filling or form, and you are done, just clear the history, because you wouldn't know the next person who will sit behind that PC. If you are not lucky and this process comes to that PC, they will just get that information, or the website. Maybe sometimes you've not logged out. So they just get all those info and use it against you. So that is how they target you. Someone might ask, how do they even target me? On the social media, when you go to your LinkedIn platform this morning, you have all those information there. You have your telephone number, your email, where you work, and everything. Even on Facebook, on Instagram, and other places. You've defined who you are there. And when that application starts, you know, there's this, the links comes going on online. They've started monitoring you. You know, when it talks about hacking or tracking you, it doesn't just start one day, or it doesn't just begin like this here and I'm saying I'm tracking you. We have something we call reconnaissance. We gather information about you. So who you are, what you do, what you want, your interest. We get all those information. So before they target you, you know what they want from you. So they have got all those informations, and they will just hit you with that. So we have to be very careful.
We have to be very careful if you want to track, if you want to clear your history on a computer. You go to Control H.
Just Control H.
And everything will be cleared.
No, when you Control H, the panel comes and you go to clear history.
Okay, so the panel comes and then you go to clear history. In case you just joined us, we're looking at how to protect yourself from the American Visa lottery scam. My guest is David Jedu, CEO of DK Cyber Zone GH. And so suppose you get a letter like this, or an email, or a message like this. U.S. Visa Lottery has opened. Want to give it a shot? I can register you. And then they start asking you to deliver all this information: your full name, your gender, your birthday, the city where you were born, the country where you were born, country of eligibility for the DV program, name on passport, passport number, passport expiration date, country, authority of issuance, passport picture, mailing address, country where you live, phone number, email address, highest level of education achieved, current marital status, number of children, and then they've given you an email to send it to that person. Should alarm bells be ringing?
Yeah. You see, this is the information that they demand from you. But you know, when this email comes to you or the message gets to you, you have to, the first thing is, who am I sending it to? Where am I filling or submitting the application to? Which link have I clicked on? Is it a spam link? Is it a genuine link? You see, so all these things should ring to you. You know, when you get such information, these are the requirement when you want to apply for visa. They ask you all these things. Yes, so they have those formats. But the question here is, the link that I'm clicking to go and fill all these forms, is it real or is it fake?
And the email that is delivered there is a Ghanaian person's email.
Yeah. So the email, are you delivering it to the U.S. embassy, or you are delivering it to an individual?
A scammer.
A scammer. You see, so always what it is here is we have to check where we are submitting it to. The information that they required, trust me, they've learnt on their job. And before they required information from you, that is exactly the same thing when you are going through the process they will require. But the difference here is where you are submitting it to. Sometimes even they will claim that you are submitting it to the right source or the embassy, but there might be a difference in the email. There might be a difference in the link.
And this is a heck of a lot of information. You know, everything is there. Your where you are, your name on your passport, your passport number.
When I get this information, see what I can do to you. A lot. I can impersonate who you are and just use your email to scam people, or can even dupe you yourself. You see, so it's interesting when people get such links and they think that it's real, especially when they see maybe genuine or they see credible logo there. When they get to the platform, they see that, oh, there's US state official, their logo there. Oh, this is genuine. This is what my heart is beating for. Now I'm about to travel. Then they start pushing all their information there. By the time they realize someone has got your information, and such information, how can you change them? Your visa number, how are you going to change it? If it's forced into the wrong hand person, the wrong hand.
This is Andre watching us from Tuba. Andre says, with visa applications, one can check from the verified social media handles of the various embassies, correct?
Yeah, so that when you get there, for there they put in the link to go and check. So on the social media platform, they just say, okay, these are the verified things that you can do. So you can check it from there. But I'm saying that the right thing to do or to check it from is their site, their website. Just go to their website. I said you can check from www.dvlottery.state.gov. You can go there and check it.
Do their websites also have the HTTPS with the S? Because you were speaking earlier, previously, about looking for that S.
Yes.
Because the S shows that it's a secure website.
It has. It has. No, when you are making payment, that's where you check for lock on the website. But when you are going for informations, and also when you are going for information, you can check for the HTTPS, that's Secure Hypertext Transfer Protocol. You have to check for those things too. And all the genuine platform they have, they should have it.
And let's just go back to something you said earlier. So there are people who know they haven't put up an application for the visa lottery, and yet they receive such mails, and then they follow through. I mean, I don't know if you understand it. I mean, you didn't apply, but you are getting a message which says that you should apply.
People believe in grace. Maybe grace has allocated them. They didn't apply, and they think that.
What grace? Come on.
It's very interesting, but it's a big issue for someone watching at this morning. So let's treat it. So what it is sometimes you see, you think that, oh, maybe I forgot. I put in, you know, some of us when we want job, when we want to travel, we do a lot of online applications, submitting in. So one might think that, okay, I did this and I had forgotten about it. So maybe it's not that they are reaching to me.
Really?
So okay, let me just try and see. But it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. There's nothing like lottery or freebies on the social media, on the internet like that. So anytime that there's such a link coming to you that, oh, you've applied for this some time ago and this is the time for you to get your redeem, or this is the time for you to get a confirmation, you should know that it's a scam.
What stories have you heard from people who have fallen victim to these scams?
Oh, just last week, someone, almost 42,000 was taken from me from just Achimota here. 42,000. The issue is with the police now, and I wish that you know, one thing is when these crimes are perpetrated or committed, it's hard to even be linked to the suspect, because as I'm speaking to you now, the only contact that he has is the telephone number, and this can be thrown away. You see,
42,000.
42,000 last week at Achimota here, just Achimota. 42,000.
The guy found a guy or a girl?
The guy is a guy from Kumasi. He had a link on social media that you can apply to US with all the things you want to read. They've quite unfortunate. They've grown a website, put fake information there. The guy to read through, see, oh, this is true. Came to Achimota, met the person at one set place,
and handed him 42,000.
The first payment he did was 2,000, and the next payment he did was through transfer. That is around 43,000. Tell you. And I wish that the case is with the Ghana police, and I just plead with you guys that you should help this guy, because it's very serious. The guy is coming from Kumasi.
How many people do you know who have had what's the success rate of finding these scammers?
It's very low. It's very low because people don't pay much attention to some things when they are going for such let's say investments or such actions. You know, when someone like me, if I want to even pay some 1 cedi, I think about all the negative and the positive side. So hence, I look for all the things, the criteria to follow. And this person just fell into the attack. So all this, as I'm speaking to him, doesn't know the person, doesn't have the picture of the person, doesn't know his real name. All that he knows is the telephone number and when he sent the money to the person. And all these things are things that easily someone can fake or forge and get the money out of it. You see, so it's very interesting the rate at which people believe those things that they see on the social media. You don't know who is on the social media. I have a lot of identity on the social media, and I believe the scammers too have a lot of identity on the social media. How do you differentiate between the good and the bad? You just give out your information, your link, everything to people that you don't know, people that you just met on the social media, and you believe that they are true, and you just give out the information. You know, I'm telling you this morning that when these crimes are committed, the success rate of retrieving it is very low. Why? Because we don't get much data from you, the victim, to even go ahead to make the investigation or to carry out the research. As I'm speaking now, if I have only telephone number from you that I know the person to be called Kuju, do you have only one Kuju? You get it? In the telephone number, the person can easily throw it away. We've not got to where the SIM card has been registered and we have a database that you can go into the database, you see that has been linked and you can really follow up. That's why I also advise that we should all do the Ghana card, the SIM card registration. So assuming this time you have the person's telephone number, the person registered and had the Ghana card be linked to it, so we have a database of this person and can easily go into it and make any arrest or anything that the authorities want to do. So you see, the issues keep coming. That is not the only thing. I have a lot of emails, a lot of WhatsApp messages that get to us every day.
How are they getting people to part with their money like that?
You know, sometimes, like normally through the social media, they will see a link. And they will promise them something huge. And that after the promise, they will just ask them to make some payments, maybe through tax or something. You know, they have a lot of ways that they say, okay, there's this thing I'm giving you out. We didn't go into it, the lottery. We have whereby people, they promise you, I receive a message that, oh, you can get iPhone 12 with this amount and all those things. They are all part of the lottery.
You're adding iPhone 12 to the lottery.
Yes. They said I have won almost about something thousand pounds with iPhone 12 and I should call Mr. Ben. And the telephone number was given. And that telephone, I posted it on my social media handle, the Cyber Zone GH, you can check it out. And the telephone number was given. And when you call Mr. Ben, Truecaller just give it to you as a spam.
Straight up.
And this thing is something that we see every day on the social media. And the key here is who really track it, who follow up. It's not me, so we leave it on the social media. And it affects innocent people who have heard nothing about this. As I'm speaking to you now, today is the first day someone's hearing this. And the person will take it, okay, they are just saying it on GTV, fine. But one day he'll be a victim and he will understand how it is. So there should be a system, a good system that we can fish out all these things. There are a lot of these scams online. A lot. Every day you could see them. And so I have started posting such scams. If I see it on my way, I just post it for you to see.
For public education.
Yeah, for public education.
What's the, as we wrap up this conversation, what is the most important thing somebody should know to protect themselves against these people who want to scam them out of money for the American DV lottery application?
All right, thank you. So it's quite simple. You don't have to work with your emotions on the social media or when you are looking for these things. You want to travel to the United States, go through the right process. There's nothing like grace or free cut or freebies on there. Please, anytime you receive a link, I do say inspect the link, go to the official website and go and find out, even if they are doing something, and if they are doing it, go ahead and make due diligence. Investigate the link, investigate what they are saying, and make sure that you are at the right place at the right time and you are in the safe hands. If not, when you are caught or when you are a victim, it's hard for you to retrieve the money that you've given to this process, because you know what, they also have security guard around them.
Okay.
They've also shield themselves. So fighting them is also difficult. It's on your hands to also make a decision this morning whether you give out your money for them for free. Sometimes it's not hacking, no. It's just some small tricks. Social engineering attack, just tricking your mind to give out all this information. How would you see a link and, well,
that's why you're there to educate them. How do people reach you, David? All
right, that's on the social media, the Cyber Zone GH, and also my telephone number is 0552 373603. 0552-373603. The Cyber Zone is on the social media
the
platform.
Cyber Zone GH, DK Jedu. See you. And you can find him on social media, the Cyber Zone GH. Thank you so much for the conversation.
He's the youngest cyber crime fighter.
The youngest cyber crime fighter. How young are you?
Oh, I'm very young.
Thank you.
I'm very young.
You're very young.
Yeah, I'm very young.
16?
Probably less.
David, get away. But thank you very much for the conversation. Always good to talk to you.
Sure.
And this is coming from Greenbird, who says, please tell David that on Facebook there are people who claim they are jobs seekers, job recruiters. That is, they recruit people for other companies who are looking for people for jobs and end up sending your information to them. In such cases, what do we do with those who are selling products online? How do we protect ourselves? Those are two things we'll talk about later on: job scam, job recruitment scams, and then scams involving people selling stuff online, and then you buy the stuff and the stuff doesn't come to you. So these are more topics we can talk about later on. But thanks you very much, David, for your conversation. Still to come, Achami Kwame and crepe. Crepe. But before that, chick.
Welcome, guys. And so the show is made possible by Awake Purified Water, Adon Connectable Energy Drink, Shield, Acrylic Paint, and Airtel Tigo, guys. It's Friday. We all know how heavy traffic can be on Fridays in parts of the capital. Usually the traffic starts mid-December, somewhere around 15 December, 16 December. But this time, the traffic, after Easter, the traffic didn't go away. It's still here. So you're going to be connecting with a guy on the ground, Jay. Jay is somewhere around the capital. We'll be speaking to him shortly. And Jay is behind me. Jay, what's up? Where are you reporting from? And how's traffic looking like? So Jay will hear us shortly. Yes, Jay. Speak. So Jay will join. Yes, Jay, speak.
Thank you so much, Val. Good morning once again. Thank you for joining us. It's hashtag GTV Breakfast. Welcome to Russia. My name is Jay Gabra. This morning's update, we are coming to you from Teshi Total, formerly known as Mobile. You find that the people who stay around here still call the place Mobile. And ask yourself, for people who claim we are hospitable, why do we have such long memories? Because it was changed from Mobile to Total a long time ago, but they still refer to this place as Mobile. So this is where we're bringing you updates this morning. So if you look behind me, you can tell traffic is building up for those who are coming in from Nungwa, who are coming from Sprintex, they are coming from Tema, and all those areas heading into this place, Sakumono included. From here, you can get to Accra. This is the major Accra-Tema highway. But for now, you can see how much traffic is building up for them. And as a sidebar, we just want to bring your attention to the preacher man who is going about his preaching, but he preaches for about 2 minutes, and there's about 10 minutes of singing and dancing. And that's how he chooses to praise the Lord and go about his preaching duty this morning. So for those coming from the Teshi Township, there's not much happening at the moment. It's free-flowing for them, and so there's not much that they are facing. Maybe when they get to the main road, they may face traffic elsewhere. So back to those on the main road, you realize for those, the pedestrians trying to cross, their signals are working. Unfortunately, sometimes when they spread, for those coming in from Nungwa and all that, they still want to cross, and making those who are coming in from Accra have to stop. Meanwhile, they are not supposed to stop. And so there you see there's some roadworks going on currently for those on the tree below side. And what happens is that's taking over parts of the road. So when it's on, the traffic light signal comes on for them to move, and you realize that if they're also heading to Teshi Township and someone is coming from Teshi, it creates a whole hullabaloo, and then it makes it difficult for them to navigate their way into Chiblau. You can see from that side as well, there is also a little bit of traffic. Fortunately, there's not much stoppage for those on that side, and when they join the main road, they go. And I just want to bring attention now to the bus stop right at the Mobile. Unfortunately, some of the vehicles are blocking our view at the moment. What happens is, with the way the vehicles park at that side, it also obstructs traffic. So when people get there, they also have to stop for a while. And passengers also do not go to the bus stop itself. They also stand at the edge. So the commercial drivers are forced to stop at the edges as well and pick them up. And this also creates a whole lot of situations. So for those who are coming from Accra, heading into this part of town, also they are not facing much obstruction as well. So in terms of traffic updates, this is what we have from Teshi Total, formerly known as Mobile. Back to you, Val, in the studio.
Thank you for that. That was my colleague Jay, who came to us from Teshi mobile traffic updates. If you haven't left home, guys, leave home. And you know that stretch, the alternative routes are not many, so you might want to leave home now. The show is interactive, so you can join us on Facebook or follow us on YouTube and watch the show live from there. Now we are welcoming our newcomers on board. Our health segment is by kindness of Lofat tablet and suspension. Lofat is an anti-malarial medicine with 2 WHO recommended ingredients scientifically combined in the same formulation and preparation. Lofat comes in the form of suspension for kids and tablets for adults. It is used to manage malaria caused by all forms of the malaria parasite, including simple or uncomplicated malaria, as well as severe or complicated malaria. Lofat is taken after a fatty meal after 3 days for effective results. Lofat is a brand of anti-malarial you can trust from the market leaders. Lofat, Tobinco's premium gift to Africa against malaria, and Lofat was endorsed as the product of the year at the Ghana Pharma Awards 2021. So welcome Lofat on board. I'm going to be speaking to Constance, and Constance is getting ready to start our breakfast. So, Constance, what's happening here? I see there's flour there. First, tell us, is there a difference between pancakes and crepes?
Yeah, there is.
Sure.
Pancake is just fried ingredients together, whilst crepe has a filling. So you can put, let's say, chocolate, jam, fruits, honey. So that's the difference between the two.
And so what are you going to make for us now?
So I'm going to start the pancake first, and then after that we do the cocktail juice.
Okay, so we are going to do crepe first, or pancakes?
Yes.
Crepes.
Crepes.
Right, so same ingredients as pancakes.
Exactly.
So I can see there's flour.
Yes.
There are eggs.
Yes.
There's milk, there's sugar, there's a little butter. There's essence. Which essence is that? Vanilla. So there's vanilla essence, there's chocolate, and there are fruits here. So maybe you can begin.
All right. Okay.
So guys, for those of you who do not know, the ingredients are there on your screens, and Constance is working her magic. So she's...
Start.
Yes, please start.
Okay. So as she said, our ingredients for the crepe: flour, eggs, milk, sugar, water, butter, essence, and chocolate. So we're going to start mixing our liquid ingredients together. So the milk first.
And the milk, we can pick any milk.
Any milk.
Sure.
Water.
So Constance is the dessert chef from Cakes Boutique and Deco. Where's Cakes Boutique and Deco?
We are located at Weda.
Right. I'm sure you'll be leaving your social media handles and a number we can call, and directions probably to the place.
Yes.
So she's mixing, guys.
Okay. So I advise you mix with the wicks to prevent lumps.
No forks.
No forks.
Guys, no forks. Those of us who use forks, no forks.
No forks.
Use the proper utensil.
Okay, so we're going to add the eggs.
Okay.
The process is very easy. You just mix dry ingredients and the wet ingredients, and you're good to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Just make sure you don't have any lumps in there.
Yes.
That's why you have to use a whisk.
Yeah. We're going to add the sugar too.
Okay.
Butter.
Is it a must to add butter?
It is, to prevent it from sticking. And also, butter gives it this nice flavor.
Okay.
And then a nice taste too.
Nice taste.
Yes. Okay, so now we're going to add our flour gently to prevent
any lumps.
Okay, keep adding. Oh,
So the quantity is based on your preference. If you want it thick, if you want it light.
Yes. It's looking nice already.
Yes.
Can you smell the vanilla?
A little. Because you cannot smell it, but
I don't smell it. You're enjoying all the smell here.
The hashtag to follow is GTV Breakfast, guys. It's our Friday edition, and today we brought the chef, the kitchen, into the studios, and we're making you nice crepes and pancakes.
So crepe can be set for breakfast, also for dessert.
Okay. Okay.
You're almost done.
Okay. So our butter is looking thick and nice.
Yeah.
I wish they could see it. Maybe you
can
can turn the bowl.
All right. Okay.
Okay, guys. So the butter is looking yum. So butter is like the name given to when the mixture is done.
Yes.
That's what's called butter.
That's what's called butter. Okay. And this can take less than 10 minutes to prep. It doesn't really take much time to prepare. So this will be easy for breakfast. When you're in a hurry to go to work, you just mix this quickly and then fry them. Okay. So we are done with the first step.
Right. And so Constance is done with the first step. T is getting ready. In fact, she's getting ready to have a conversation on headlines and what's trending in the newspapers, on our social media platforms, and general issues affecting Ghanaians. She's sitting down with an all-female team, and they are almost done. And so we'll take a quick break from this side of the breakfast table while Constance prepares her crepes, and we'll come back when it's almost done. And I'll be the first person to taste, and maybe T and her guest as well. And so we're going to be handing over to T pretty shortly, where she's discussing the headlines with her guests.
2006. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is The Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show.
Thanks for staying on, and it's GTV Breakfast, your favorite breakfast for every weekday morning, Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. A few of your messages. I'm Samuel from Dakuman. My love for GTV Breakfast Show is more. Thank you for that. Also love having you watch us. Here's someone, you didn't tell us your name, but you're sending a reply to our questions. You're getting some branded mugs today. And the comment here is really exciting. You are really serving breakfast. Yes, we are. We are having some crepe pancakes. And later on in the show, we've just met our dessert chef. And Val and Hale will be coming back very shortly. For now, we are sitting down to look at the stories in the newspapers. So in the headlines this morning, with me to understand some of the issues, I've been joined at the table regular two strong regular women we have here. From my immediate left, Ellen Amadeko, member of the NPP communication team. Ellen, welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. And next to her, Susan Edua Mankwa, executive director, National Interest Movement. Susan, welcome again.
Thank you.
Great. So we go straight on, and we begin with the Daily Graphic. So the front page of the Daily Graphic this morning, there's a story on recycling, and it has to do with the Accra compost plant. We are being told that the second phase of the Accra compost plant has been commissioned. That story is captured on page 16 of the Daily Graphic, and I'll just read a few sentences there. The second phase of the Accra compost and recycling plant at Ajin Kutuku has been commissioned. President Akufo-Addo commissioned the 20 million plan financed by the Jospon Group and its partners to increase the existing capacity from 600 tons of waste per day to 2,000 tons per day. The project scope, we are told, it provides metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies within the Greater Accra metropolitan area viable and cost-effective alternative to dump sites. It will also increase the plant's capacity to bridge the existing gap of untreated solid waste in the area, and it includes modern teaching and learning facilities as well as ultra-modern laboratories for training and research into modern effective processing and recycling technologies. So the president is on a Greater Accra regional tour, and that's when he commissioned the project. And obviously, I would say a good step in our attempt to get control of the waste situation. Recycling is a key component of waste management, and I'll invite your thoughts on this. I'll start with maybe Ellen.
Yeah, good morning to all our viewers. Good morning to you.
Yep.
And okay, we'll be having some conversations today. We are not going there. So.
But we just started. We're not going somewhere.
Oh yes, we decided we wouldn't do that. So okay, let's go on. We are talking about yes, but before I go there, let me wish a very, very happy 35th birthday to my youngest sister. She's the second after me. Yes. Mrs. Gonila Abna Obesibia. Deku Adontin. What?
Hey,
Doctor.
That's a sentence.
A very long name. Abna, happy birthday. God bless you. And you should give you more life. She's one of the best sisters ever. I mean, she's a fashionista. If you think I am, you should see her.
Hey,
I love you loads, and I'm grateful for everything that you do for me. Yeah, and I say thank you. Now moving on to the compost issue. I think it's a good thing that we are thinking about making Accra one of the cleanest cities in Ghana, in Africa. In fact, it was part of the president's wish and manifesto that by the time he leaves office, and that will be one of the legacies he will leave with Ghana. So for me, it's important that we keep on to that promise. We keep on to working on it to make sure that it is done. Fortunately for all of us, I think we have a Greater Accra regional minister who is also really committed to that whole idea. So the commissioning of this plant, it's extremely important. We see how early mornings these abuboyas are carrying all of us are wastes, and the way they are going about is disposal. I keep on wondering where they've been sending it to, because you see them quite a lot on the motorway. Sometimes they leave, they turn over and then they leave the rubbish right in the middle of the road. We have so many things that we can do with our trash, and in some jurisdictions rubbish is money, is gold, but here how we even deal with it is a problem. So it's a good thing that the second phase is coming up. Hopefully it will help in the drive to keep Accra clean. I hear today there's going to be the launch of the Keep Your Frontage.
Clean, yeah.
I believe it's one of the best things that could happen to all of us, so that we all take responsibilities for where we live. If right in front of your house there's this mess, and we all sit down waiting for the assemblyman, we are waiting for the MP, we are waiting for the regional minister, we are waiting for the president to come and clear up our mess in front of our house. I think it's one of the most, I wonder what is wrong with some of us. So it is good we are going to launch this, plus the compost site, so that after you keep your frontage clean, you know where to send the rubbish to. Yeah. Hopefully, after the launch of keeping your frontage clean, we know how they are going to deal with it. Hopefully it will not be another launch. We launch it and we leave it. We actually see it in action, where people who do not keep their frontages clean are punished for doing that. We need to keep our cities and keep ourselves clean. So for me, it's a good thing. And as the president said, he's really determined to force all of us to make Accra clean. And for 5 years down the line, I think we are on course.
Susan, the landfill site is about to be decommissioned, and the plans are to make that into a kind of recreational park, from what I've heard. So I'm thinking that if the compost plant at Kotoku is being expanded with capacity, capacity-wise it's being expanded, then there's more room there to take the waste to Adin Kotoku, since we will no longer be functioning. Should we expect that to reduce the filth we see in the city?
Well, I think there are many other things that we ought to do also. So the compost plant is one of them. Generally, there ought to be maybe more of them. We need to do a bit more recycling with other things. We have lots of plastic bottles, plastic things, which we cannot use for compost because they're not biodegradable. So if we're looking in terms of our waste, we need to look at it holistically. The compost plant is a fantastic idea. I mean, gardeners, those who do garden plants and things, and organic farming, for them compost is black gold. It's healthy for the plants. It's not artificial like the spraying of chemicals on it. So as we move towards more organic foods, etc., compost becomes very important. And like Ellen said, yes, clearing up of our places. I mean, the kind of scraps we get from chop bars and restaurants and things, these are all things that go into making compost, and it's important that
some don't understand when we say a compost plant. Let's try and educate people out there a little bit, because it's that part of the waste that can degrade.
Yes.
So it does not include plastics, rubbers and bottles, glass and all those. Those are not compost. So is it time then to start thinking about sorting our waste, or to continue the conversation on sorting? Because the compost plant will struggle if every other waste material ends up there.
Yeah.
Because then they would have to sort
it out
before,
and then that may take too much energy and too much resources and things. Definitely we must get to the point where we are sorting out our rubbish, and maybe especially for the areas in which you have the big garbage people coming with their garbage cans, so that you have one for plastics, you have one for glass, and you have one for general waste. I mean, it's about time we get to that point, so that we don't mix it, and then they know that when they pick this, they're sending it to the compost plant, and then people mix all sorts of, because you do see the mixture of all sorts of things, So we must get to that point where we are sorting out our waste. If we want to make Ghana the cleanest city in West Africa, we must get to that point.
So waste management begins at home, really, doesn't it?
Definitely, waste management.
Because once it goes into the bin and it's picked up, then if it's not sorted by that point, that's another level of that's another barrier that needs to be scaled.
Yes.
So that's the education that we need to put.
Definitely. I mean, waste management begins with a change in attitude and with the right education. I mean, I think that we need to educate our people in terms of the kind of waste that they create, and how to sort it out and how to manage it. So it does begin at home. It does begin with a good attitude. It does begin with right information. I mean, understanding why that it should be. And yes, the compost, we can make compost at home if we want to make our homes beautiful. I mean, when she said that, I said, I look at her cry, and sometimes you're just sad, because this is a country where if you throw anything, it will grow, and yet we don't grow flowers. We are turning every place into a concrete jungle. We want to build in every available space, I mean, and put up a structure in every available space. Who does that? I mean, if you go to some of the most beautiful cities in the world, it's not about the concrete structures. It's about the parks and the gardens and the flowers that you see, that bring such a connection to nature and brings calmness and things like that. We want to build put cement, and some of the flooding that we see is has arisen as a result of people cementing their compounds, or paving their compounds, and not allowing water to seep through into the ground, and they don't get the runoff, and so we see some of this flooding. I mean, if we had more gardens, yes, I mean, people sometimes believe that it's expensive to have flowers and things like that, but there are some flowers that are beautiful and cheap. I mean, if you look around, and they're hardy. If you look around, you have Euphorbia, those red flowers with the thorns. They virtually grow anywhere and everywhere. They don't need much attention. These are things that maybe the local government can encourage people to do in their frontages, in their gardens. And then, as we move towards more green we may plan our cities better instead of putting structures in everywhere, and that we may have less floods, you know, because people would have gardens instead of cementing their you know, compounds. Right. I think that we need to look at the whole thing holistically, but it's a good thing to have the compost plant, because I think that people should be encouraged to put their waste to, you know, to proper use, etc. The chop bars and everything. I mean, it's a good thing.
Great. Because there's so many topics right in front of us, we just want to move quickly to the next one. The education minister is telling private schools that the license is now, the license renewal will now be every 3 years rather than every year as they've been doing it now. And he's explained why he said that. The graphic has captured that story on the front page. The story is in the paper, page 16. So a quick run through. The renewal of licenses established for established schools will now be done every 3 years. The Minister for Education, Dr. Yao Osei Edutrum, has directed. The schools are, however, supposed to pay their license or subscription fees yearly. Explaining the rationale for the decision, the minister said the yearly licensing puts the schools on edge, that this year they are licensed, next year they may not be licensed. And so what we've directed as a ministry is that the licensing regime should be 3 years. In that way, we are separating licensing from the mere payment of fees that are due to National Schools Inspectorate Authority, NASIA. And he said what NASIA sought to do with the publication of the list of schools that had not paid their licenses for the 2021-2022 year was meant to indicate that those schools were delinquent and not that they were not licensed. And so that story is on page 16. The story is referring to section 98, 2 and 3 of the Education Regulatory Bodies Act that requires all schools in the country to be licensed by NASIA before they can operate. And so they are decoupling fee payment from licensing of the school. Is that a good thing, and how will it help our education system to get better with licensing?
Well, I guess that the 3 years is to cut down some of the bureaucracy. You know, it won't surprise. I can't tell, but it won't surprise me that it's a chore for schools to every year go and license. So if there's an easy way, maybe online, to do a payment for it and then renew their license every 3 years, you know, that may reduce some of their administrative burdens. And so I'm sure that is the reason why, you know, payment may be made yearly, but you know, you go for the license every 3 years. The important thing is supervision. You know, the article speaks of delinquent schools. That means, you know, they have defaulted in paying, etc., etc. So what is required is a good monitoring and supervision to ensure that you know, we don't increase the delinquency and that people are waiting 3 years to now go and pay for their, you know, schools and whatever. But I think, yeah, I mean, licensing for certain professionals and for certain institutions is important. If it is to keep the institution in the straight and narrow, you know, and ensure that they do what is right, it is important that there is licensing so that people come into. But the important thing is that supervision. For me, I think that a lot of things in this country, you know, the laws are good, the regulations are good, but the supervision and getting it done, you know, is what is the problem. And hopefully it's not an avenue for somebody to be collecting money by the side, because we as a people find ways and means of corrupting everything that we do.
But they're saying the monies they will collect every year as they have been. It's just the I guess the renewal of the license that will be every 3 years. So rather than going through the process, like you said, which I'm sure some may say is bureaucratic, every year you now have to do it every 3 years.
Well, like I said, it's good if it's cutting down the administrative chores for the schools, you know, and it makes life easier for them. And I hope that it runs smoothly. And like I said, I hope that we don't find avenues and means of corrupting it, you know, and somebody benefiting from the site when the state is supposed to be benefiting, and maybe the school is supposed to be benefiting from a monitoring and keeping it on the straight and narrow. I don't know what the licensing is about, but there may be certain licensing in terms of the premises. Looking at the premises, is it clean? Do you have enough sanitary facilities for your students? Is ventilation good, etc.? Are your teachers of a certain grade, etc.? I don't know what entails into the licensing, but I would hope that whatever it is comprehensive enough that it's not just a formality where you go and pay money and then you can do what you like.
Right. There's breaking news. We are getting some breaking story from my colleague Alan Darrow around the Sakaman area. We understand there's been an accident, and we are trying to gather more information so that we can keep you informed. But Alan is joining us with some details. Good morning, Alan.
Hi, good morning, Delma. Welcome to Sakama. En route to the Mala market, we came across a motorbike accident which involved a hawker in the street, and what you can see right now is the person who was run over by the motorbike being lifted. The motor rider almost got lynched by the hawkers on the road, and so we had to mobilize the police to come in immediately to try and bring a certain sanity. In fact, the behavior of the motor rider warranted that he be lynched because he didn't make any attempt at stopping. Efforts were made to reach the ambulance service to come and assist, but none of them has been here, and the person is being lying by the road. So someone has to put them on their back and try and mobilize a taxi for her. What you can see in your shot now is a person being carried on another man's back and being put in a taxi. What the police are doing all they can to try and get some sanity at the situation, but obviously the people are very much incensed because of the way the motor rider behaved. And the traffic situation here is such that unfortunately nobody can stop immediately to allow them. And so you can see two policemen are doing whatever they can to get the traffic halting for the person to be taken to a hospital. I am going to switch the motor rider and see if I can get him to explain what happened exactly, because he also seemed to be a bit frightened, but the police had saved him just by the whisker, because they almost lynched him up. I am going close to him to see if he would want to speak to me. First of all, I didn't see it. Just stop with taxi. Just stop with taxi.
I'm not supposed to make attempt.
They disagree with me. I take two decisions. I took two decisions. They disagree with me. Me patch up about saying, boss. Me our rent side. Line no move worried. Wow. If line move here no. Otumrika atwamu a sprinter. Ebi animu jamo. Etumi no sideline say to opie na. Bismi me board break no on the side. Na almost board on kwajina. Oh, man just like am for. Me na me gina immediately. Me parking motor mu. I'm dey na bar side. And I'm seeing that taxi. And a taxi ni gina e. Right. Don't feel the foot off. Okay. And I'm saying, mummy so mu yanya den. Mo fa ni si motor mu. Na afi omo e demand this car. And I'm saying yes car. Mo so hospital ni yanya den. Ye fa nko. Et mummy fa ni yanya den. En saka nu asa. I'm so oh. Oda bi mi wi abra kasa. And I'm saying what taxi no no. Na sisi ano motor na bo na den na me o say on plan o plan na plan dey here you motor no ko siali sika na me dey. Okay, police forcing me motor no as an inventory, as an exhibit in Timpacho. Mami, just a minute. Me we are meant back to you. So what you can see now is the policeman by the motorbike. He's asked that we film the motorbike as well before he takes it away. So I'm bringing the motorbike in shot, and from here I'll engage the hawkers as well as the guys who hawk on the street to give us or to help us make a certain sense of the whole situation. As you can see, the motorbike was chained in order to stop it from even being ridden away. And so that's that, with a policeman trying to ride the bike away. I am going to go back to the scene and speak to this lady who also sells with the lady who was knocked down by the motorbike. Mami mpacha ba say
ya na mu eti moto ni fi anim eba eti ya back side say kwan na woni ama moto ni kwan ti ya bi wona ko ba ni ti anim eti moto we ama no de fi na eba so do one of the year the ode poor no eti no say ye mfa ka ni mfa ni course ba ha no da bi o di moto ni boya we do what to obe no ba ka jaye na ya kai ka ni ya say ya mpene office ka na ma ya anfa ni afuka na ta hospital eno ne to kwa na ba no no ye na di say obe tu di moto na ko ana be ma ba ku ti fi moto ki
na say moto bo obi a say say mo ni motor rider na nyina call hospital I don't think na mo dis ka o fine no
say ko cha for da no mo jani e jaye yes nya da ho say be ji sika na san ye de na
say mo ji bike ni si o na mo ni nipa na ka mo ma ko
obi odi moto bo obi ya ko no na taxi ni obu ni na ye do first like e no see so ojo so e no jaye ho no ko e ti yes ye ni ate wo de bona ya bi sika ni afa taxi ni ade no kwa no ti na moto ra no ya ya ne sa no 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 ti ase ma ye
me da say pa ye be san anu akasa bi o. Okay, so as you can see, this has been the situation at the Sakaman Junction, where a motor rider knocked a hawker in the middle of the road, and they almost lynched him, except that the police intervention, the guy was nearly going to get lynched. This has been the situation coming to us from Sakaman. Thank you very much.
So, it's a rather interesting story, because we are happy that the lady is she survived the accident. Hopefully she'll get well after her treatment in hospital. And so we've just been from Sakaman, that road that leads to Malam Junction, and our team there chanced on an accident. A motor rider knocked down a hawker, we are told, and he almost got lynched. Ladies, can we address that situation for a minute? We are seeing more motorbike related accidents. In fact, just a couple of weeks ago, we were looking, one of the papers had talked about the numbers, and we were talking about how the higher numbers are in motorbike related accidents, and we are just seeing one now that just broke on the Sakaman road. Your initial thoughts? I have a few ideas. The bike man was nearly lynched, which is wrong on all fronts, I think, because everyone who breaks the law must be made to pay for the mistake according to the law, and not to be lynched. So that I want us to talk about. The police handling of the scene. And we've talked about this also a while back, about how we don't preserve evidence enough. And I wonder what your thoughts would be on that. I'll start with you, Ellen.
I really do not know where to start from, because I've been a victim of these motorbikes who, meander their way in traffic, and they will be, cutting in front of cars, and they'll be breaking your side mirrors, and all manner of issues with these motorbikes. And then you also have to deal with hawkers on the streets and all their issues too when they are selling, in traffic, chasing after cars. And it's the whole thing put together gives a very dangerous and a very volatile situation. Now, looking at what just happened, we're there, so we're just being reported. Everybody's saying their side of the story. But the long and short of the whole matter is that both the motorbike riders and the hawkers, somebody crossed somebody, and somebody was hit. Mm-hmm. I think we really do need to take a look at the whole road, the whole road. That's what the infrastructure, how we all interact on our roads. Because we are killing ourselves and maiming ourselves for no reason. You go talk about hawking on streets, and I know everybody is a lot of people are going to be on my case. They need to survive, they need to eat. But if you want to sell, that is why there are markets. The Mala market is just walking distance away from Sakaman Junction. So why are they there? Now you come to law enforcers. I mean, what are they also doing? The police is practically helpless. You know, look at the policeman. You are talking about preserving evidence. As he's standing there, he's supposed to be directing traffic. And then this happens. How is he supposed to preserve the evidence? Does he have gloves in his pockets? Is he having a forensic kit? I mean, it's and then this whole case about, look at how they're speaking. The motorbike is saying when they hit them, the ladies or the hawkers ask for money, and then they... And the hawkers say they've seen it before. When they take them to the hospitals, they run away. But the point is, if you are at the wrong place and you are, I don't want to sound insensitive, but if you are at the wrong place and you are hit and you are demanding 2,000, 1,000 cedis from the motorbike, he will run away. That is why we need the police there. We need you to get to the hospital so that the correct amount, is it even the responsibility of the motorbike to the rider to take care of you if he hits you? If it is your fault, who determines the fault? So it's, as I said, it's a combination of a lot of factors that is leading to a very volatile situation, and we have to really take a look at it. We all use the roads, and for me, I've had an issue with the motorbikes. If you're a motorbike and I realize you are following me for quite a distance, especially those who come, you know, they'll draw right by you. I'll tell you, move. I don't want you anywhere by me. Either you are behind me or you're in front of me. Because I've had issues. I've had issues with being robbed by people on motorbikes twice. So I am very, very uncomfortable when I see those motorbikes. In fact, I am tempted to knock you away if you are trying to. And I think it's not just me. If you look at the experience a lady had, the one who was robbed on the Tesano stretch, where the motorbike stopped in front of her with the guns and they took the money. I can bet you for the rest of her life she's going to be traumatized anytime she sees a motorbike anywhere near her in the car. Let's bring Susan into this one. What's your take?
You know, it's funny. You are more likely to die on our streets from a vehicle accident than to die of COVID, and that's supposed to be a pandemic. I mean, our motor traffic accidents in this country is our own local pandemic. It's really is terrible. When you leave your house and you come back home safely, you should just thank God, because on the streets of Ghana, on our highways or supposedly highways, I mean, it is so frightening. And like Ellen said, the motorcycles are a menace, the pedestrians are a menace, the hawkers are a menace. You know, it's right now, given the story that is going, everybody's saying their side of the story, you don't even know who is right. Because look, the motorcycles are crossing red lights, they are crossing carelessly, they will cut in front of you, they will move, they will just scratch your car, they will break your, and they are doing what they like in the full glare of the police sometimes. Then the hawkers are doing likewise. They are crossing, you know, sometimes you want to change lanes and the hawkers are there. And if you are not careful, you will kill them. They are being killed all the time, and yet they are there. I mean, if you have no value for your life, that is what it means. You know, you want to earn a living, and yet you have no value for your life, and you place yourself in danger all the time. This also includes those beggars on the street. The beggars are doing likewise. They will come close to your car. You know, now, even the most frightening ones are those beggars who are on their like skateboards. You know, you barely see them, and they are crossing the traffic. I mean, it's a nightmare on our roads. It really is. As for the highways, we have no highways in this country to speak for. I mean, you have a highway and there are villages by the side. Which highway is that? And even when the ones that they are doing the bypasses, instead of the law ensuring that people do not build by these bypasses and getting the chiefs to understand that they should not sell the land by the bypass so that we can expand it. No, they are selling it. People are moving to buy that. It sounds like an ending day. Look, I live in Tema. I use the motorway on a daily basis. It is a nightmare on that motorway. Apart from the potholes that you know, maybe there's an iron sticking out that will bust your tires. Trucks are stopping and picking up people. People are crossing. They live on one side. Their husbands live on the other side. They are using kachama to go and go and sleep over and things. I mean, what What is wrong in this country?
Right.
It really, look, this, and we take it and we talk about it and we move on. And if there is no government that has taken it seriously, that its people's lives are in danger and want to do something about it, they gloss over it, nothing. Road Traffic Commission, then they go and make an authority. We are not seeing how that transition is affecting us. Look, because I'm looking at it, the statistics from July to July, from 1st January to July 31st, they said there have been 9,520 motor crashes involving 16,000 vehicles. That has killed 1,700. That's just in the space of that month. I heard somewhere, I think in August or wherever, that almost 200 and something people died from motor traffic. We take it as a joke.
So a pandemic,
we treat it as a joke. We are clowns in this country if we take our lives for nothing. It really is terrible.
Right. So we just deviated from our list of topics from the papers to just address that breaking story that our team chanced on at Sakaman. So a lady has been knocked down by a motorbike. The lady has been sent to hospital. She's a hawker. She's been taken to hospital in a taxi because the ambulance did not arrive on time, and the bike, the Okada man is also in trouble. He was almost lynched, but some people saved him. The situation is being monitored by police who are directing traffic on that road, and then if there are any updates that our team can share, we'll let you know. Before we went to that story, we're talking about the license renewal for private schools, and I was coming to ask you the question, Ellen, that if this is not going to be a yearly thing, should we be worried that possibly standards may last until its renewal year and then they pick up again? Because it's a genuine concern that people have. If you have to do this yearly, then you always constantly will be on your toes. But if it's every 3 years, is there a chance that we could see a drop in standards?
I'm struggling to understand which of the licensing they are talking about and at which level. Are we talking about basic schools? Are we talking about secondary schools? What exactly? So this one licensing is for?
I'm tempted to think that it's for senior high schools because
most senior high schools in Ghana are government.
So the story is not clear on that specifically.
No, it's for the basic school.
Is it basic school?
I'm saying all because I've been involved.
Okay.
I do own a nursery school. I've been doing it since 2011. And I have decided to keep mine at
nursery level.
Yes, the preschool. And it's another area of corruption, lack of guidance. Everybody does what they want, and it is terrible. My school is in Kaswa, and I can bet you, Kaswa, we have the highest grade of preschools. I mean, schools where the children are taken care of excellently. Schools where you enter the place and you go like, I'll love my child to be here. And in the same Kaswa, we have schools that use broomstick, a local broom that has been cut, and like the one we used to scrub our gutters when we were younger. That is what they used to wash children. The same Kaswa.
Brooms.
Yes. It was in the news, I think 5 years ago. Somebody took a secret video of a nursery school where a 3-year-old had, assaulted himself, and the teacher, instead of taking care of that child, put him under the standing pipe with a broom, washing him, somebody's child. So I am wondering what sort of licensing they are talking about, to be a year or 3 years. I'm not bothered about the number of years. I am bothered about what is their name? The new agency that is supposed to be going around licensing in education. You just mentioned them.
NASIA.
What are they supposed to do?
So the story is saying that there was a press statement and NASIA listed 74 schools running the Cambridge Assessment International Education.
And honestly, I am not bothered about them because they have decided, or parents have decided, that they want to take their children to such schools. And for such parents, they should be able to know which ones are licensed and which ones are not, because at that level, where you want to pay dollars for your child to get an education in Ghana, you as a parent should take responsibility and know which kind of school you are dealing with. So I do not want to even talk about them and their license, and that's their cup of tea. I'm saying that because they are on the upper echelons of society. These are schools that pay $1,000 and more per term. I want to talk about those who are lower, those that some of us run, and the sort of issues we are having there. Is NASIA not responsible for them too? What sort of licensing are they giving to those ones? Kaswa has the Kaswa, everything negative. Kaswa has the highest number of schools, nursery schools, basic schools in Ghana. Check from the statistics from the Ghana Education Service, and they have all manner of schools. Everything is there, and people's children are there. Why is NASIA not there?
Okay, so the Education Ministry, you are calling them to focus attention on standards in basic schools as well.
And preschools. Private. These are not even for government. The government wants every time there are people there. Every time they are inspecting, every time the Ministry of Education is there,
but the private schools, preschool and basic,
those children are dying, and because they do not have access. I mean, the place is so populated, so you cannot even send your child to the government school. I mean, most government schools do not even run the preschool system. You know, just kindergarten, but the nursery, they don't run it. So you have to definitely send your child to the nursery school. If you are working, but you have to go out, and that is where the issue is. So this is an upper class issue which they can deal with. They should go down there. Let's talk about that.
An upper class issue is her
thoughts on that.
I wonder if this would be an upper class issue as well. The president has urged for civil tolerance. He's urged for tolerance and civil discourse when it comes to the debate on LGBTQI, and the Ghanaian Times has captured that. I mean, there's a story in the graphic, and if I wonder if you'd spend only a few minutes, because I know you mentioned before that you want to comment on it. Benin's parliament has voted to legalize abortion, and they're saying that parliamentarians have voted to legalize abortion in the West African country where it was already authorized under very strict conditions. Under the new law passed late yesterday, women can terminate a pregnancy within the first 3 months if it is likely to aggravate or cause material, educational, professional, or moral distress incompatible with the woman or the unborn child's interests. How do we feel about that?
I'm Catholic. If I say anything, my priest would be
your
horrified.
priest would be horrified. Ellen has some strong views. So
yes, I do.
Fortunately, a quick one. Okay.
I went to a Catholic school, but I'm not Catholic.
Okay.
And even the main Protestant self-club been sacked. So right now, even though I'm Christian,
you're looking for a church.
No, I'm not. Even though I'm Christian, I'm happy.
Are you appealing on national TV that you're looking for a church?
No.
Okay. Let's.
Because I don't want to be restricted in what I say. So I'm actually excited that I've been sacked from my original church, so that I can talk as I want. This thing about abortion and policing women's bodies, I have an issue with. Until the child comes out, it is my body. God gave me that responsibility to carry the child. When the child comes out, then it becomes the property for all of us. But once it is in me, and I have to nurture that child, I have to be in a state where I can nurture that child properly.
So you think this is a good move?
So for me, I think it is an excellent move. When the woman feels she cannot carry that child, I think we should give space so that at least if she wants to get it out, she gets it out. I have an issue with the timelines. Of course, if you sit down and wait till you are 7, 8 months, 6 months pregnant, and there's nothing wrong with you, you have been able to carry the pregnancy for over 6 months, and you come and tell us that you want to abort it. That one, everybody should look at you and look at you critically. Maybe there's something wrong with you. But when, right from the beginning of the pregnancy, the day you realized you are pregnant, between that time to about 3-4 months, and you know either there is something wrong with the fetus, yourself as a woman, you know there's no way you can even carry this thing to full term, you are having issues. Why must we police what the woman does with her body? That also brings us to the issue of contraceptives, which a lot of religions are also against. So why wouldn't you protect yourself from even getting pregnant in the first place if you think you are not ready to have a child? That one too, we are policing contraceptives. But we will not stop having the sex too. So if we stop having the sex, which our male counterparts will not allow us to stop having, because all of us are having it. We should let the woman who bear the consequences of it take full responsibility by giving her access to everything she needs. We cannot force people to have children. They do not want.
Okay, that's a good way to...
Sometimes people think that they do not want them, and when they do come up, they realize that yes, we do. We did want them in the first place. I mean, we can have the argument that some people believe that to have children is just to perpetuate yourself. It's a selfish motive, but I mean, so that argument is also there. The arguments, the pro-life, the pro-choice arguments are there for people to pick and choose. Yes, it may be the woman's body, but that is life in you, okay? It's life, and life that did not ask to be there, and you then decide that, oh, I don't want you, and so I'm terminating you. I mean, I think that the laws for or the argument for pro-life is that, you know, why should your choice infringe on somebody who didn't ask to be there? You get it, and that it is life. And if you are pro-life, once you have made the conscious. I mean, look, do you accidentally have sex? I mean, isn't it a conscious effort to have sex? Say me patre, and then we had sex. Really, the stages in which you go through.
Interesting concept. You don't want to touch on this LGBTQI.
No,
we are out of time.
We'll get there, but I think that, I mean, since sex itself is a conscious effort and things like that, and unless it's rape or you know, you must take responsibility for the consequences of it. There's too much irresponsibility going on, and I think that for the pro-life people, they do have that argument that you didn't just have sex.
Since you're already on a roll, I'll throw in the president's comment urging tolerance and civil discourse over the LGBTQI debate.
Yes. I definitely agree with that. That there must be civil discourse. Right? Yes, it's an emotive issue, but the thing is that, and people have taken their stance and are rigid about it, etc., etc. You know, I think, and you know, people then begin not even to look at it coolly. People have to read the draft bill, and in reading the draft bill, place it in a certain context, and then they can make proper arguments for or against it. Okay. There are many people who are against LGBTQ, but are against the draft bill also. You get it, because there's certain elements in that draft bill that we have to be cautious about that are extreme. Okay. You know, so I think that it's important that we do sit and read it before we start having that discussion. Not just from the top of it, I hate LGBTQ, so, and I start talking all over, and then anybody who speaks and says, no, let's look at the draft bill again, then you must be an ally, and you must like LGBTQ, or something like that. I mean, there's so much stupidity going on in some of the arguments. It's unbelievable. And we have to realize that as much as we may be 70% Christian or whatever, we are a secular country, and we may be, you know, there's the argument that we are shaped by our values and our religion. Let our values include an honest civil discussion. That should be a value also to us.
Ellen, your take on this?
My take is that I agree with the president that we should be civil in all manner of discussions, including discussions on LGBTQ. I mean, they're also human beings. We might not agree with what they're doing, but I mean, they are brothers and sisters, and you'll be shocked about the people who also get involved. Some are right in your family. So for those who are on the extreme, preaching all manner of things against these people, I believe the president was right to call them to order. It's a lifestyle, and as I kept on saying, it's a vice for me. Everybody have their vices. They want to be homosexuals. You are a thief. You all have your vices. And the bill, as she said, there's so much. I read it totally, and I went like, but I mean, seriously, as much as we want to criminalize it, if somebody is doing it and I live in the same apartment building, and I know I don't report, you want to put me in the trouble too. Why am I must start police somebody in the bedroom? So these are some of the things that we need to talk about on the bill, so that they can do it in such a way that it does not bring in all manner of things that would criminalize all sorts of activities that should not be. We should have a civil discourse on it. When you go on our local, pure local stations, it's terrible. The narrative is terrible, and the way they even see it.
let's leave it there. So many issues from the president interview yesterday that we could have looked at, but for lack of time we would have to end the conversation here. We're going to talk about Shatawale and others being remanded in police custody, captured in the Times and other papers as well. The Finder is reporting commercial radio stations in Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi to pay 55,080 Ghana cedis for license, and that's by the NCA. There's another story that says stop financial irregularities. The Chief of Staff cautions MMDAs, and the Business and Financial Times is saying bank loans are not for startups. As such, businesses need long-term funds. We didn't have time to go into a lot more detail in those stories, but they are in the papers and you can get copies and read for yourself and tell us what you think. Remember, you can catch us across our social media platforms. We are streaming live on Facebook. We are on YouTube, streaming there live as well. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram. And our WhatsApp number 0555561034. A few of you have sent some messages, but we'll dash out of the studio very quickly and we'll touch base with the team outside, and then when we come back we'll tell you all that is happening behind the scenes. Okay, so we'll be back.
Welcome. So we are immediately connecting to Jay. Jay is in Teshi. He's still in Teshi. He's keeping an eye, and so we are connecting with Jay in a bit. Jay is behind me. Jay, what's happening where you are? I can see a portal reading street road behind you. What's happening in terms of traffic?
Thank you so much, Val. Good morning once again. Thank you for watching this hashtag GTV Breakfast. Welcome to Keep an Eye. My name is Jay Gabra. This morning on Keep an Eye, we have a little information to give out there. So, you know, as you may well be aware by now, there's a major construction going on the main Accra-Tema Highway. Because of that construction, the construction workers have created a number of diversionary routes to ease congestion on that side due to the road work. And this is where I'm reporting from one of the major diversionary routes, which is the King Kroto Road, also known as Krobo 1, here in Teshi. Road users here who have been plying this route because they want to avoid the congestion on the main road, because owing to the nature of the road, it's pothole ridden. So because of that, they are complaining massively, because what happens is, using this road, it creates a lot of maintenance cost for them. Even the fact that they have to use it and go and pay for spare parts, and the fact that when they, for instance, if they go to a washing bay to wash their vehicles, it's creating those extra costs for them. From here, you can get to any number of destinations, including at the top there, you can even get to Lekma Hospital. So in case of emergencies, you can even use this route and get to places like that. So they are complaining they pay their road here, and since they are doing the major road, if the authorities can come and have a look at this side as well for them, so that they don't leave them behind, it will help that situation. There are also a number of schools here, including the Lefka GHS 5, which is just ahead, and you realize that with the way the vehicles dodge the potholes, which goes as long as you can see, you realize that if care is not taken, they may run into students in order to avoid the potholes. And this morning when we arrived, there is a vehicle that has broken down. We may not know if it's a maintenance issue or it's owing to the nature of the road. That's why he's parked there. But it's also created some form of a little form of chaos over here. So cars are trying to avoid him and all that. So this is the situation here at the Kinkote Road, Krobo 1, and they are pleading and they are appealing to the authorities that they shouldn't just focus on the main roads, but if they are using here to avoid the traffic, the congestion on the main road, at least this pothole inside should be taken care of for them, because they can't come and be paying extra in order to this thing just for the ease of using the road. Yeah, so this is the appeal they are making to the authorities. So this has been Keep an Eye from the Kinkote Road here in the Teshi municipality. Back to you, Val, in the studios.
Jay, thank you, Jay. So that was Jay who came to us with keep an eye. He's keeping an eye on that particular stretch of road that's on the King Kote stretch in Teshi, and that road is pothole ridding. So the authorities, we know they watch us and they listen to us. So authorities, Mwasempa. So I'm gonna smoosh over to the breakfast table where Constance is done. I don't want to get up on one, but T and her guest have already had a feel of what Constance pancakes and crepes taste like. And Constance, where are we? Do you want to make one for me so that... Thank you. Thank you.
This is nice.
So what are you about to make? A pancake or a crepe?
The pancake before we fill it.
Right.
So the second step. We are going to pour our pancake into our pancake pan. Okay, so now our mixture is ready. So we'll start the frying process.
Righty. And so guys, we're about to fry.
Okay, first you grease the pan.
So grease the pan. This is like a real professional way to do it. Because if we're in the house, we are homes in our kitchens, are we supposed to grease our pans as well?
Okay, so if you are home, you can, if you don't have the pancake machine, you can also use a non-stick pan.
Right.
Grease it and then fry. The first one may not come out well, but after
the subsequent one.
Yes.
So guys, can I have the pan, the traditional?
Yes.
So guys, this they are doing it the professional way of frying with a pancake maker, but this is the
non-stick pan.
Non-stick pan. This is the local way, and I mean, hey, non-stick. And so yeah, so they're ready for you.
Okay.
And so it's heating.
Yeah, it's heating.
Righty. Yeah.
I can't wait for the aroma.
Guys, you're missing out. You are missing out on the smell. How do we find you, Constance? And are you available for private gigs? Can people call you up and book you for private gigs? And where are you exactly? Where do we find you?
Okay, so you can find Cakes Boutique and Decor at Weja.
Cakes Boutique and Decor.
Yeah. At Tetegu on the Weja Road. And can I drop my number?
Yes, please.
Okay. You can also contact us on 054-896-3385.
Okay.
054-896-3385.
Right. Okay. And so guys, our first pancake is on.
So as I said, the first one will not turn out well, but
it never does.
The second one will come out very nice. Can you smell it?
Yeah. Guys, I'm smelling things. I'm smelling things in studio. The first one won't come out well because it's always the first one. It has to grease the pan and sort of. Why won't it come out well?
Because the temperature may not be right by then, and also the consistency may not be right here.
So the first one is always like a tester.
Yes, to correct it, and then it will work out. And it's very fast.
Guys, the smell in studio is yum. This is the Friday edition, and so we get to sample palettes, and today we are doing that with pancakes and crepes and chocolate fillings and fruit fillings and honey fillings and all of that, guys. Okay, so on your screens you can see it's sizzling. The steam and the smoke is yums. Love that.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so I dance when I see food. So sorry, the camera could be.
I guess a food lover like me.
Okay, so we're about to do the second one, and so that's gonna come out right.
Yeah.
Just right.
All right. Okay.
So usually it's if you want it really done or semi-brown, or it's to your specification how you want it. Some people really like this crispy.
Some also like it brownish.
Yeah. And some really like it thick.
Yeah, very thick.
Okay, so
that one's quite filling.
To your specification, yes, the thick ones are filling. And then you can sprinkle a little sugar on it if you have a sweet tooth.
Okay. So you wait for about 1 to 2 minutes and it'll be okay to turn over for the next.
I can smell it.
I smell it too.
So the one on the maker now, are you going to fill it or it's going to be plain? Are you going to fill it with something or that's going to be plain?
We're going to fill it.
Okay. Guys, it's sizzling hot in studio.
I want to start the second one. Is it ready? So when you want to be sure if it's ready, you see the side will be coming up.
Okay. It starts lifting by itself. That's how you know it's ready.
Yes. Or it will become golden brown.
Okay. So what tips would you give our viewers on what to have with pancakes or crepes? Juice, cocktails. Which cocktails are you going to be making? We usually have it with tea or freshly squeezed pineapple juice.
Yeah. So you can take pancake with tea, with coffee, with juice, a plain juice or maybe a apple juice. Anything goes. And as I said, if you have a sweet tooth, you can add ice creams to it too.
Okay, so I'm waiting for it to be turned, and so that we can leave our viewers guessing how it's coming out. Okay, it's nice and brown.
Yeah.
Right, guys, and so we'll come back to Constance. Oh, I didn't catch your name.
No.
Okay, so Constance and Mabel. We'll come back to Constance and Mabel to see how many they've done so far and how it's looking and which fillings are in what. But guys, I don't know if you have a lot of haters or if you love songs about haters or frenemies. You remember there's this guy. We have a personal thing. We call each other Tweety, Tweet Bear, Tweety. You remember this song? Was what time ago. You know, everybody knows I can sing to save my life, but guys, we're having Love Lockdown, the Love Lockdown author. I mean, he's already poised with Kafui. He's looking all Ghanaian, and Charlie, guys, Ochiame Kwame is in studio. Ochiame Kwame is in studio. I can't wait to listen to him and Kaf speak. He's going to speak about. I don't want to take everything away, but guys, Ochiame Kwame is in studio. So what do you want to know about Ochiame Kwame? Something you don't know already. What do you want Ochiame Kwame to tell you? Do you want to know how he keeps stuff tight in the house? You've seen his wife, right? You can send your comments and everything and all the messages on our WhatsApp number 055-556-1034. On our Facebook as well, on our YouTube. We are live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube. You can send your comments to our Twitter and then to our Instagram as well. So guys, like and share. Ochiame Kwame is in studio. He's ready to have that schmoozing conversation with Cuff. So here they are then.
It's the Rob Doctor in the building. Say I'm the best rapper alive. I guess back for Germany, I feel like you're Schengen. But I'm here for more dear travel invitation.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is The Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show.
Dabe no be bo show, dabe no be yes no, dabe no be ye you, dabe no be sifio, dabe no be cusco, dabe to lele down my wounds row, 22, Emma 22, degrees 22, degrees 22, side chicks they do, I don't cheat, I do, my mood, 2 shoes, vacation you choose, my mentor catch no doll in the streets, so your mouth can keep all in for you, Marabona, Sabe, hand body, no corner do what you my big ballers, a first lady, I got you, we got me, whatever they say, it don't matter, we got we, I got you, baby, you got me, and what about the saying, it don't matter, we got we got love, down, we got love, down, we got love, down, I will stay down, I'm a rap. Last time, me post to Facebook, I'm a post when you do, Tina Chair, me do love. Now me say now, don't go to the don't na me need to don't fray a bro love. Broke by, now me telling a normal friend, me broken, me now for 47, my woody soakings. I will intellectual living with the body of the sleep no joking. The 15 to pass, so name a question. We can love down.
Hey, Kwame!
Yes!
Charlie, what do you go?
Big bro! I think...
Let me chat.
Yes,
Charlie,
yes.
so... You're original, you're knowledgeable, it's okay to chat with you.
Oh, thank you.
Describe yourself in 2 sentences.
In 2 sentences?
Yes.
Just I would say I am an elegant African. I am intelligent, elegant African with a passion for development.
Okay, intelligent, elegant African with a passion for development. Why?
Because I think that is how I've been raised. My ethos is more towards positivity, more towards culture. It's more towards believing that we can do it. You can even see the trend of it through my songs. So I was very fortunate to have parents that believed that they can raise children to want more than their parents have. So very, very fortunate. My mom was a teacher, my father was an accountant, and I think they did an amazing job letting me believe in myself. So, and every time when I say myself, I don't just mean me. It's a microcosm of what I am, but a macrocosm of where I find myself as a Ghanaian, as a West African, as an African, and as a global citizen. I think that all of these things can become amazing if we manage it well.
We'll talk about your global citizenship and what you'll be doing in Scotland in a short while, but just let's take it back to the early days. Give us something interesting from your early days that we don't know.
That you don't know?
Yes.
I think that I was born dyslexic. So even when I was 10 years old, I couldn't say my ABCs or my 1, 2, 3. So I remember that I used to say M-U-N-O-P for M-N-O-P. You know, so my father was so, he was so troubled that he's very smart, but his son is not smart. So they were not able to diagnose that it was dyslexia and dyscalculia. So they became very afraid that I would grow up and become nothing.
Which one be dyscalculia?
Dyscalculia is the one that you are unable to calculate things.
Okay.
The mass phobia.
Okay. Okay.
You know, dyslexia is inability to read and understand. Dyscalculia is mass phobia.
Do you remember how it made you feel?
I remember I used to feel like trash because my mother would now take me to her friend who was called Mrs. Boama, my class 2 teacher, who hits me in the head every morning. Wabong, 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 wabong. My mom was a teacher, you know, so she said, teacher Niban wabong say, and I'll come home and I couldn't do my homework, and then like at home too, I remember my mom used to call my uncle who is now in the US to come and beat me because my home. And when I cried, they would now beat me again, say me pay soon. You know, so I felt, well, growing up, I didn't have any confidence. But when I completed my O-levels, this is in 92, and I had all my 9s, except Akan, that I had 2. So there was this young man in my neighborhood called Lord Marcus. Lord Marcus was the only rapper in Kumasi at that time. This is 91, 90, you know. So I went to Lord, I said, teach me how to rap. And then he said, I want to see your O-level results. When he saw it, he said, we can't rap. Oh, you know, so, but then I pleaded with him. Then he said, you know what? I'm going to teach you how to rap. But rap is an intelligent game because KRS won and everybody else who was rapping was really sharp. So he will give me a book and then he will tell me to go and he will teach me one literary device, metaphor, alliteration. This one, and then he will say, read the book in 4 days, underline all the metaphors, underline all the personifications. So in a year, when I was getting ready to do my Second World War, Lord Marcus had introduced me to New York, Paris, London, Kenya. He introduced me to writers. He had introduced me to novels. He had introduced me to the world through the reading.
Is he still alive?
Lord Marcus is still alive. He teaches at a high school in the US.
Wow.
You know, so, and then he also had designed me as the best rapper to ever be, you know. So what my parents could not do, Lord Marcus used rap music to bring out of me, and from that time I developed my confidence. I did my Second World War. I had 1.
From 9 to 1.
Yes, I went to my A-levels. I passed my A-levels, and then I was no longer afraid to stand in front of public and speak. Remember when I was like 8, my mom used to say that, hey, but for the audition, which means even if you digested English and put it in my mouth, I would still vomit it out. So the people who actually knew me from when I was a child, they used to, at the house that I grew up, they used to call me Kwame Mum.
Oh, because you couldn't talk.
Because I couldn't
Mum
talk.
Is like
exactly.
Wow.
You know, so it is really strange that because through rap music, a dyslexic, dyscalculous young man can become an intelligent, elegant African.
How old are you alive?
Everybody's alive.
The teacher who used to beat you?
I have not seen it. I remember when I was about 7 years, I kicked it. You know, I kicked her. I remember her name clearly, Mrs. Boama, St. Joseph's. I kicked her, and then from that time, they took me out of her class. And I still know some of her daughters, some of her sons who are my friends.
Okay.
They are still in Kumasi.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you remember the first rap you wrote from Marcus's teaching?
Yes. It went like this. Cocaine is like cane that will bring you pain. Stop the drugs. It will lead you to rugs. Too much abortion causes abomination. Contraceptives, they say, are preventives. So when in boredom, use a condom. They call him Saddam because he's a dame. They call him Hussein because he's insane. He fought Iran and was made to run.
This is like 40 years back.
Yeah, this is like 30 years
Phenomenal. Name 3 talents that brought you here. 3 talents.
3 talents. I think the first one is poetry. The second one, poetry, which is still rap. The second one will be my appreciation for music. And then the third one will be culture. So I think that the people are just born with a gift of the gap. It was only that fear had covered mine. But when I became who I have become, I realized that I have talent in understanding the etymology of language, especially the Akan language. It is a pure talent that
You did that for your first degree?
I did that for my first degree.
Awesome.
Yes.
So poetry, music, culture.
Yes.
We'll touch on all these things in a short while. Small exercise for you. Complete this sentence. My destiny is?
Beautiful.
My destiny is beautiful. Why do you say that?
Because I think that the nature of man is love. If the nature of man is God. And love is beautiful, even though it is momentarily. But what an amazing moment, you know. So I think that I am just full of love, and love is beautiful. That's why I say that.
You're doing so many interesting things. You're a musician, a composer, songwriter. You're also an ambassador, climate change ambassador.
Yes.
And that is going to take you to Scotland. We'll talk about that in a short while. But what's the most enjoyable thing about the things that you do now? You're a writer too.
Yes. About knowing that it's expressionism. Just waking up, having a thought, researching about it, putting it out there, and making sure that a lot of people are reading it, and it causing the trouble that I intend for it to cause. You know, like challenging the status quo. That fulfills my every desire in me to keep living. I think it is an amazing thing to have a voice. You know, it's really interesting.
And so the voice took you to rap and music, but it's also taking you to a book that you wrote with your wife.
Yes.
Love Lockdown.
Yes.
Okay. How's that book doing?
It's doing great. It's doing great. I remember I spoke to you before I even wrote the book. You were the first person that I consulted, you know, and then you gave me a few tricks. Somewhere in the line, I will call you, you tell me, call this guy, call that guy, and through you, EPP Books is distributing my book. You know, so the book is doing great. They say that Ghanaians don't buy books, the Ghanaians don't read. Based on what is happening with my book, I disagree, because I think that the question should be more like, do Ghanaians sell books the way we sell the books? Because now every Saturday I'm at one of the malls, at a university or at an institution, doing free books, book signing, so people can do photo ops and come and have signed books, and the books are moving.
So some advice you can give to up and coming authors. They've got books, piles of them in their garages. They don't know how to sell it.
Yes.
What have you learned so far?
I mean, so far I can say Coca-Cola is the #1 brand in the world, but they still sell it. Every week there's a campaign. Open the cork, scratch here, do that. Even though everybody's drinking Coca-Cola.
Bottle top Kwame. You remember those bottles used to be called Ghanaian names.
And you know, my agency worked on that campaign. Yes, so we worked on that day name campaign. So, and check this out. Everybody needs MTN credit, but still every week they are doing MTN credit. You know, so. And since we all know that people do not really have the time to read now, people are going more into audiobooks and things like that. I think that we need to have curated branding and marketing strategies or little plans for your book. So before you write your book, you need to know your audience. And now you know your audience, you need to know where they are. Now you know where they are, you need to know how they think. Now you know how they think, you need to know where to find them so that they will be able to grab your book. You know, so I think that once you are writing a book, don't just go into that creative space of just writing the book and then printing it with your last money, and then it's now going to be sitting at home collecting dust.
So know how to sell.
Know how to
know
sell.
Know how to sell. Free advice, not just for books, but for music. Anything, even yourself. If you're trying to brand yourself and you want to be talking to Kwame, Kwame. Most challenging thing about your job or the jobs that you do? Most challenging?
Most challenging thing is is for me as a musician performing for 24 years is the changing trends. So sometimes as an artist you lead the trends. Sometimes there are other trends that are leading you. So you either adapt to the changing trends or you try your best to use your demand and supply techniques to lead the trend.
Break it down.
So what I mean is that sometimes, for example, I am predominantly hip life artist, which means I fuse high life music and hip hop music with high life choruses and hip hop raps. But it gets to a point that people like trap. You know, they like Asaka. So how do you now?
Show me Asaka. Give me the rhythm.
Asaka
Give me the rhythm. Okay. You rap on that, right?
Exactly. The rap is easy, but now because it is predominantly being perpetuated by young people, 20, 19, 18. As a 45-year-old man, immediately I jump on that beat. People are thinking, oh, he has come to steal the shine. And then now I need to stay in my lane and create the music that people have already known me for. Then they say it's boring. You know, so it is very difficult to manage the gray areas between following the trends and leading the trends.
So that's the challenge.
That is the challenge. That is an ongoing. And sometimes when I rap this way, they say, "Oh, Chami, we miss your old rap." And then I give them the new. I give them the old rap. They say, "Do something new."
You just be yourself, right?
I know.
Just be yourself.
Just be yourself. And you know that equity is of the customer. So even though you are being yourself, it is imperative that you understand the audience as well.
So,
but it's a beautiful challenge.
Yeah, the one what everybody want to have. You know, just to join us. This is hashtag GTV Breakfast. Use that in all your posts on social media. Hashtag GTV Breakfast. I'm here with Ochami Kwame. If you haven't followed him yet, you are one of the few people I know who have not done so. You can do that right now. Okay, Kwame, you've gone from rap to your singing. You're doing all kinds of things. Are there other additional skills that you think you need in your work?
Yes.
What other skills do you think you need?
You know, in 2006, I went back to Tech to study Akan and sociology, and I did music for 2 years under Ejako Nimo's tutelage. And then later, I've come to do a master's degree in marketing strategy. Now, but I see that the trajectory of my life pattern is going more towards development. So I think I should do a PhD in music and development, you know, find a blend there so I can understand and become more impactful. But apart from that, I have things, I know how to do a lot of things that I've not done yet. For example, painting, sculpture, all those things. I think I need to do that. So the other time my wife was asking me, what are you going to do next? I said, I don't know, 2022, maybe I'll do my first art exhibition.
Why not?
You know,
you look very artistic, put together and nice.
Thank you. So why not? I think I want to die empty. I want that when I die, there's nothing in my head, because it will be a shame. I wrote a song last week that I'm going to record. The song is called Your Bar.
Sing something. Just the chorus.
No, it says, "Minina Mayor MP, your bar." So I'm talking to my daughter, and then she's the one speaking. Minina Mayor MP, your bar. Me pese me skepi o your bar. Me pese me wario o your bar. Me pese me ye carpenter o your bar. So I'm talking to my daughter about things that women want to do, but men are consistently telling them, you are a woman, you can't do that. You know, so if I do not record, because I know when I release this song, it's going to cause a lot of trouble.
This is the first time airplay, right?
Yes, the first time. And going to cause a lot of trouble and bring a lot of conversations about feminism and uprising. But if I should die tomorrow, that means that song is in my head.
So that's exactly. Do you record at home? Do you do your sketches at home and everything?
Well, I do sketches at home. I do sketches. So this one, I have a sketch of it on my phone. You know, I did something small with my songwriter. You know, so it's on my phone.
What's your motivation?
My motivation is love again. It's love again. I get worried how the society, through religion and tradition and culture, packs veils of false identity on the love that children are gifted with, to the point that we grow up and we are unable to have that personal touch with the eye. So my motivation now is to use every single ounce of energy in me to unveil that through my music, through my activities, through my writing, through my poetry, so that people will know who they are. That's where I'm at right now.
A lot of that energy is channeled into your Sunday reflections, because in case you don't know, on Sundays it's like a revolution on Facebook, because Ochano Kwame goes and writes long stuff, and then he engages with people. It's not just post and go, post and engage. The one which has received the highest traction had to do with polygamy.
Yes.
So yes, you are monogamous.
Yes,
why were you asking questions about polygamy?
Because of I think I don't like tags, but one tag that I will happily embrace is feminism. I think I'm a feminist, and I do not like the fact that society over the years tries to push polygamy down the woman's throat, even though she still keeps spitting it out. And then we consistently say, accept it. Abraham did it, Buddha did it, this one did it, that one did it, so you should accept it. And that for a woman to even think of alone dating someone else while she is in a relationship, there are laws in our society that she must be stoned or called a shawu or things like that. I can't stand it, because the whole idea of falling in love with yourself comes back to empathy. And once you have empathy, you have fellow feeling. So I talk about polygamy like that to bring the conversation up so that we will liberate our women.
Why do you think that post had so much engagement?
Because people did not agree with me.
Mostly men or women?
Mostly men. You could see that the women came to agree and the men were disagreeing. That so my whole conclusion was that polygamy is great. Let us all indulge, but let us also give the women the chance to also marry twice if they are successful.
So polyandry.
Exactly, and that's the thing that the
men said no.
The men said no. But how are we going to tell whether what if there are children in it? How I said DNA
test.
Exactly. So you can see that men can dish, but we can't take. It's the same philosophy of the butcher fearing the knife.
Yeah, well, I guess it's the way we are also made. I mean, men give and women receive. So,
really?
Well, I guess. But I can see why. I can see why the men were against what you're saying and why the women were supporting. But it's interesting. So watch out for more of his reflections on Sunday. Couple of quick questions before we talk about Scotland. I know you are proudly made in Ghana
100%.
product, but what have you learned from other cultures?
A lot. I've learned a lot, especially when I went to the US. I remember that other cultures are intentional about their culture. Ours is through recurring patterns. But if you go to a place like America and let's say the urban Black American hip hop culture, it is curated from politics to business to society, coming down to the fan. Every single dimension of that culture is programmed by probably an anthropologist or a group of PhD anthropologists sitting down with the practitioners and deciding and plotting this that we are. But for us as Ghanaians or mostly Africans, our culture happens instantly. It is adaptive. It is through recurring patterns. Another thing that I've seen about especially Western cultures is that it is more about rights. Our culture is about responsibility. So you can put 200 women at Makola to sell foods and they will never fight. Or even if they fight, it's just a few, because everybody is responsible for each other. The society is sort of Ubuntu. But if you go to New York, you put 3 people to stand and do the same thing, someone will draw a gun, because it's about my rights. So I realized that our African culture is more about responsibility, and European culture is more about rights. Another thing that I've learned about past African cultures is the concept of ma'at, which is built on love. When I can't have something that we say, I say, break
it down for me in
I say that a lot of people are particular about the one with a feathered hat.
Okay.
When I was a kid, I used to think that it means people like the person dressed colorfully, or the king, or the one who is in front. But in takrache, in philosophy, represents holiness. It represents principles. It represents ma'at. So at that time, every child, when whilst you are growing, in the evening, you have to recite the 42 confessions of ma'at. This is the African culture, where you say, I have not stolen, I have not taken from a god, I have not beaten someone, I have not broken a heart, I have not, this 42. And once you die, you are going to recite these very, very 42 confessions to an angel, and they will weigh your sins against the feather on the scale. If your sins are heavier than that of a feather, then you sort of you'll be devoured. But if your sins are lighter, then you go to Asamado or heaven. So this idea of ma'at is what has filled the African for like 14,000 years to be able to become responsible for others. So our philosophy or our culture is more built on responsibility and not rights.
Okay, so those are a couple of things you have learned from other cultures.
Yes.
You're still learning, I can see.
Yes, I'm still learning.
Do you love it, or it's because of work?
No, not because of work. I love it. I wake up every day between 4:30 and 6 to read at least 2 hours before I get up and go to work. Anything. When I wake up, I read anything I get my hands on, from the Harvard Business Review to the Daily Graphic to a post on social media. I spend 2 hours every morning rebuilding my thought process before I move.
And keeping the cells working.
Yes.
Because if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yes, it's true.
And so on my way here, I was wondering, since I'm going to be playing something with Ochano Kwame, what key is Love Locked Down in? And so I listened to it, and then I held the key in my note in my head until I got it. When I got it, the first thing I did was I hit the keyboard just to find out. And I love the song.
Thank you.
Why did you go with Adina on that song? I've seen the video. The video is on YouTube. It's
yes,
pretty well.
It is. Yeah. Thank you. Adina, because I don't know if you've seen, I've been on a tangent of making music with women with amazing voices. I've done with Raquel, with Afia for White Wedding. I've done Betha for Faithful, Ebony for, so I love making music with women. Why? Because I love women. And two, because rap music is really boring sometimes when it is a long speech of 30-something bars of punchlines and literary devices. Exactly. So at a point, silence is the basis of all sound. So at a point, all the sound must cease for us to experience the feminine energy.
Okay.
Yes.
So on that note, let's experience some feminine energy. This is the new one.
Yes.
Brand new. If I introduce your own song.
Okay, so this is Love Lockdown. Which one is my camera? This is Love Lockdown. It's available on YouTube. Go and watch it. And then in this video, it's just Adina and I, and we are using the nature as the element. So the predicament in the story will be given by the sea, the thunder, lightning, rain, and things like that. So please enjoy Adina and myself. This video is one of my favorite videos. No, it's my favorite video shot by Abraham Ohinijan. So enjoy it. From that town, Adina. Selite enkutu na sema warwa enka minyobia. Omo simi nido so be share me homa enso Ethiopia.
They say they will say that I told you so. Nanso Ethiopia. Obeye oboni epipa when him miss you.
Go and check it out on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, and let money come home. You know, lock it down. All right. Questions are coming in plenty. Good work, part of you and the entire team. Ochami speaks good. This is Oti Brofo. That's Ajua. Okay. Kindly ask Ochami Kwame to come to Cape Coast for the book signing too. Is that a plan? Is there a plan to go to Cape Coast?
Yes, we'll go to Cape Coast.
Okay.
We'll go to Cape Coast before December.
Okay. Yes. Wow, the evolving musician is that which I call him Ochami Kwame. Please, I'm now 35 years old, and since '96 I've followed this champ as well as one DJ and the Dusty. My question this morning to my boss Ochami is, how old are you? This is from Menahanta Franco Bab of New Idibisi.
I'm 45 years old. I'll be 46 in a few months.
Nice one. Yes. So let them come 055-556-1034. We're going to Scotland in a short while because you're going to be rolling with all kinds of big people, world leaders and things. And it's all about CC. But you have a book also to give away for our viewers. Choose a question for them so that they can get the book.
So where can you get this book to buy?
And you said it in your intro.
Yes.
So if you were listening, you would know. If not, stop the feed and go back to the beginning. All right. Where can you get Love Locked Down? Show it to them so they know what to look for. Yes.
This is it.
Yes, that's the book.
Love Locked. It's actually 2 books in one. So this is book 1,
and then it's book 2.
And then book 2.
All right. Where can you find the book? Yes. All right. Yes. Let us know on WhatsApp, and before the show is over, one of you is winning the book. Is there any question you haven't asked of yourself?
Well, there's a question I've been asking of myself that there's only one question I don't have an answer for.
Okay.
Only one.
What is it?
Which is, where do we go when we die?
I've been thinking about that a lot myself. You know, I've been thinking about that a lot myself.
Yes.
Because of my loved ones that I have lost.
Yes.
And I'm wondering sometimes, hey, how are they hanging? Do I get to meet them? Why do you think that answer has been hidden from us?
I think it's because you need to die to find out.
That's the whole thing, man.
That's it. So, but I think that my idea is that since quantum physics says we are energy, and energy cannot be destroyed, but it can only transform.
Yeah.
With this body of ours, it's not who we are.
Exactly.
Because the personality us.
It's not the body.
Yes, it's not the body. Because this is just banana, kwedu, and goat meat and things.
Yeah.
You know, so, and since the I cannot really die, once we lose this body, not our life, once you lose this body, then if you did good, then probably your energy or the I will go back to the good side of the source creator. That is what I think.
And then if you did
bad, it could go into the bad side of the source,
which is where we don't want to go.
Exactly. You know, so I've been looking at it from religious perspectives. The Christians say heaven, the Akan say Nsamando. You know what that
is. If you break it down, what does that mean?
And so the Akans we look at life from 2 perspectives: the living and the dead. You know, we are all equally important. The living, we live under the sun, which is a Reyase. You know, where we are
under the sun,
where we are under Sama, which means Ada means day, Sun means finish, Ma means children. So we are the children of the limited days. But when we die, we go to Nsa Mando, which means the place where the days never sun. Do means place, Nsa means never. Mine means country or you know a place. So Nsa Mando means the place where the days never finish. Eternity.
Yeah.
You know, so we are Adasama going to eternity. So sort of this is like a pathway to
limitless life.
And the Buddhists have their own. Every society has their own idea of where we are going. And I think that people must be given the opportunity to explore it within themselves. And within me, I am more with the quantum physics, energy never to be destroyed, to be transformed idea.
How do you transmit these concepts to your children and to your wife?
Good question. Because you know my wife is very religious.
Yes.
She's a Jehovah's Witness, you know, so they are strict on we are going to heaven, we are going to paradise. And as though they know, they give it to their children as truths. So especially in that area, I try my best not to give them anything. I want them to grow up to find out whether the imaginative projections are parts of truths, you know, so I don't go there. However, I tell them my truths, and I tell them these are my truths. If it doesn't stand the test of time and is unmutable, if it is not it cannot be muted, then it could be true, you know. So, but I want them to grow up and find their own truth.
Are you what kind of daddy are you?
I am the type of daddy that think that beating children is barbaric.
Have you ever beaten any of your children?
Yes, a long time ago, maybe before 5 years ago.
We're on the same page.
But you think it is barbaric?
Yes, but I beat them long ago.
A long time
I haven't
ago.
done it in a long time.
Exactly.
Now we vibe.
Yes, because I think the nature of man is love, and the opposite of love is not hate, it is fear. So let's come back to why are we beating the children? Because we are afraid they did not listen to us, therefore they won't listen to us again, and we are afraid they will end up rotten because they are not listening to us. But we are not God, you know, so we can't decide that because they did not listen to us and become an accountant or become a footballer, therefore they will fail, because these children are not ours, they just came through us, you know. So I think that it is fear that gets us to beat our children, and if you are doing anything in fear, that thing will never stand. It is the things we do in love. However, fear has sort of a very harsh, quick energy that solves problems quickly, but in the short run. So fear can do exactly what love can do in a short run, but love will take a long time, and that is the time that parents don't have to sit down with our children and vibe with them and meditate with them to the why.
So more time to chill with the children and ask them questions and listen to them as well.
Yes.
Is your wife and children under pressure to be Ochami Kwame's perfect family?
I wouldn't know. I have not
ask them.
I have not asked them. However, based on the way I am curating my family values and I don't think there's any pressure in my home. Pressure is what I do not like in my home, because pressure is the thing that causes anxiety and depression, and I don't want my children to grow up with any psychological fear, because pressure is fear, and I can say it based on what I see and the way I manage my home. There should be no pressure.
How do you relax when there's pressure?
Right now, I am on pressure.
You don't get pressure now.
I can't get pressure. Yeah, because I realize that I'm living in the moment. That's why I said I'm living. Love is a very quick moment, but what a moment! So if you are living with total love, there should be no pressure. What is happening? So I released a song. It didn't hit. It didn't get 1 million views. So what?
Let's go on.
Exactly. Let's do
another song.
Exactly. Or my wife spoke to me somehow when my workers were around. So I feel disrespect. No, I have gotten to a place where I have come to understand my ego. I know the place of my ego, and I have shown my ego how to find love expression, because like I always say, energy goes where attention goes.
Okay, so don't put attention on things you don't want it to go
at all.
Talking of going, you'll be going to Scotland.
Yes.
And this is all about the COP26 conversations on climate change.
Yes.
The ordinary Ghanaian climate change says, which kind of climate change? Why are you a climate change ambassador, and why do you think the conversations are not that deep in our system?
I think it's because, one, our leaders, which is not just Nanado and MPs and ministers, you and I too, our leaders, or we the leaders, we have not made it a conscious effort to disseminate the conversation to the grassroots.
Okay.
That is one. And the way we teach climate change in the schools, we teach it as though it's something that is happening in Antarctica, something that's happening in Amazon, something happening at Chad, something happening at with some river.
How is it touching us in Ghana?
How is it touching? So the UN scientists say that in the next 7 years, if we don't change our lifestyle and mitigate against some of it, we are going to increase temperature to 1.5 degrees Celsius. What it will mean is that the land, the Ghana land that we have, will no longer be arable for cocoa farming, and productivity will reduce by 54%. And then I have been a climate change ambassador for at least 5 years. I've visited about 54 communities in Jomoro, Western region, parts of Northern region. It is real. If once you drive by, you see what the JAMC has done.
Yeah, we were in Western region a couple of weeks ago.
Exactly. The cocoa belt used to start at at the northern region. Now it's been reduced to like Samara Boy down Ashanti coming, so you can see that the land is no longer as fertile as it used to be because of climate change.
What can we do?
What we can do, like really simple things. If you live in, say, my village and you want to eat kusi, don't burn a whole village. Don't burn a whole farm for one kusi. Take 2 minutes to read, go online to check out what exact tire pressure are you supposed to give your tire so that your car will become energy efficient. Simple things like that. Let us cut down on how much meat we eat, because livestock farming alone contributes to 18% of carbon emissions.
On that note, are you a vegetarian?
Yes, I'm a vegetarian. Since 1st January.
Of this year?
Yes.
How's it going? How's the meat-free thing going?
It's amazing. Now I feel like a spirit.
You're flying.
I'm floating.
So what do you eat in place of meat?
And I eat beans. I eat tofu. I eat a lot of mushrooms. I eat cauliflower. I eat a lot of, you see, almost all the animals that we eat for protein, they are vegetarian.
Yeah, vegetarian. So
what do they eat?
If we just follow that.
So basically.
So that's it. So you're contributing your part. When do you get to Scotland?
So I'll be in Scotland. Maybe I'll live in Ghana on the 4th. The president and other delegates are going on the 1st. I'll live on the 4th. There's an event happening on the seas that I should be a part of, and I have a few meetings. So I'm going on 2 accords. I'm going with the Ghana delegation, and I'm also going as a climate clock ambassador. And as a climate clock ambassador, we are going to do advocacy. You know, the Europeans promised to give countries like Ghana $100 billion as climate reparation and for climate justice, because we in Africa, we contribute only 4.1%, and the rest is there. And then check this out, Ghana just found out fossil fuel, and now they say we should forget about fossil fuel because it's the energy of death. So how are we going to now forget our fossil fuel and still pay school fees and do all the things that the government is supposed to do? So we are going to Glasgow from Climate Club for advocacy. But I'm going with Ghana for the first time. We have a pavilion, so I'm going to use my star power to bring a lot of people who do poetry, who showcase Ghanaian things that are technology, and things like that. We do music for the last day, things like that. So I'm going to bring a lot of attention to the Ghana pavilion.
I ask for only one thing from you: bring a kilt.
A kilt?
Yes, a Scottish skirt.
Would you wear it without boxers?
No, I'll wear it for the set without boxers. It's a challenge. Charlie, catch this for me. I'll wear it without boxes. Don't open it yet.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, quick questions before we go. If money were not a problem, complete. If money were not a problem for you, what would you do?
Money. I would never tell a lie again.
Charlie, without money, man defeat the lies.
Yes. Money can let the most honest person lie.
I'm thinking about that feather and the seeds when you die.
I'm telling you, yes, they're my art.
If money were not a problem, you would not tell a lie.
Yes.
Like, who's your biggest competition?
I have none. I am my biggest competition because I am my own opposition. It is so within me, like Christ said, a house will not stand if it's divided within. So within me, my subconscious and my consciousness, that is the biggest competition. My subconscious, which is my animalistic instincts, my habits, and all the things I've inherited from my 4 grandfathers, wants to cheat, wants to steal, wants to lie, is selfish, is egotistic, against my conscious nature, as in do good, support this, that. That is my biggest competition. So I want to get to a point where I can sort of understand my subconscious a little more.
Okay. What would Ochame Kwame at 8 years old be saying to you now?
At 8 years?
Yes.
He'll be telling me, don't cry, don't be afraid, you will be fine.
Okay. And then Ochame Kwame at 80, what would he be saying?
He will probably be saying, why didn't you make more music?
Open the jar. It's a random question. Just pick anyone. Read the question and then answer it yourself.
Who is the smartest person you know? Dr. Kosechire Nyantechi.
Who is he?
He is the CEO of Lancet, MDS Lancet Laboratory. He's a pathologist, and at Lancet, his quality index is 100. He's ISO certified, and sometimes he gets as much as 98% for his ISO certification.
Wow.
Yes, he's the one that sponsors my hepatitis B campaign, sponsored for 12 years, and I've worked with him year by year for 12 years. I tell you, this man, his work ethic, Dr. Paul Sechenyantic.
I had to go look for him.
Yes.
Since I like the response, pick another one before we go. No, take it out. Don't repeat it. Yeah. We don't repeat questions.
Okay. If you could transport yourself at will between any two destinations, which would you choose?
Okay. So if you could just move from destination to destination, where would you go? To destination.
If I could just move.
Yes. At will. Just think I want to be.
Right now, I will go to a pre-COP meeting with Nanado and the Minister of MST and the EPA people. Try to find out how they are going to deal with COP26, especially if, because I know that they are going to ask Ghana to stop mining our fossil fuel, and I want to know
what they are
going to say, and then after they've gone to say and sign those treaties, what they will come back and do, what the plan is.
I like that. You can close the jar now. We're about to end this conversation. The question again for the before we go, and I ask you my last question. The question is, where can you find Love Locked Down? Is there anything you want to say before I ask you my last question?
Yes, I just want to say that, please, when we are growing up, at least for boys, they tell us boys will be boys. You have to be strong. You have to do this. They tell us all those things, and then it sorts of shatters who we are. So parents, please, watch the type of things that we tell our children. That's one. And then also, if you're a child and you were as lost as I was when I was growing up, there is hope for you. Keep searching.
Last question. Imagine today is the last day of your life, a very successful life. What would your family be saying and celebrating about you?
I don't know. I think that my mom will be proud, because she's always telling me she's so proud of me. I think my wife will cry. She will miss me. My daughter will be strong. My son could be devastated. My brothers will say he was troublesome. We told him to stop the trouble. I think Ghana will cry. But what I will wish for everybody who loves me is that to live means to die. The whole idea of living is the same as dying, so if we die, nothing changes, not a speck, nothing changes. We live, so we die. So when I die, please take the good things I did and continue. The bad things I did, trumpet it, let the people know, so that children will not make my mistakes.
Thank you very much, man.
You're welcome.
Achame Kwame, it's always great to talk to him. He's original, he's knowledgeable, and it's always okay to chat with him. One love.
Thank you, Big Boo.
Yes, man. GTV Breakfast continues. We've got some dancing in the house. You don't want to miss it, man. Serious dancing.
Again, I see me be a jam of
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC Studio 1.
Okay, so after that amazing and insightful conversation and educating conversation with Kafa and Ochiami, we are back here on our breakfast table, and Constance is, see guys, we're about to have a ball. We have cocktails, and she's about to roll the crepe. So if my camera would just zoom in a little, we'll see her rolling and filling the crepes. Constance, what are you going to be filling with?
We are doing a crepe with chocolate.
Right, and so chocolate goes in there first. Okay, I'm sure you guys can see a platter of fruit too. That's gonna be for the cocktails. So Constance, you might want to tell us what you do at Cakes Boutique and Decor. Are you just a dessert chef, or you like make whole meals as well?
Okay, so at Cake Boutique and Decor, we do interior and exterior decor, cake making and sugar craft pastries too.
Okay.
We also do training.
Okay, so I want to come and learn how to make serious desserts. I have to go through. Is it expensive?
Oh, it's very affordable.
Okay, but you can't say that on air. Where do you find your social media? So if people want to come and learn, they can actually contact you.
Okay, so you can follow Cake Boutique and Decor on Instagram, Cakes Boutique and Decor, and also you can Google us to Cake Boutique and Decor.
Okay, so 2 of our crepes are ready, filled with chocolate.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and that's what's that?
Chocolate drip.
Okay.
To make it enticing.
Okay.
So you can be generous with the chocolate if you are a chocolate lover.
Like certain people, you know. Yes, more chocolate.
All right.
Can I just hold that? Can I just hold that? So guys, this is it, guys. This is what our chocolate crepe looks like. There it is. So we're going to have some fruit as well. Oh, you're going to
add more chocolate. Since I said we are chocolate lovers, we'd like to add more.
Okay, so for the this looks absolutely yum. Yeah. Okay, guys. I bet you your breakfast isn't looking as yum as this. But we're not just doing breakfast. You know how we do it on GTV Breakfast? We mix a little of everything. So we're doing cocktails, we're doing crepes, we're doing pancakes, we're doing chocolates. We've had the conversation with Chiame Kwame. Because it's Friday and a lot of you will go dancing today, probably after work hours. They call themselves Endless, aka the dancing champions, and so they are going to be waltzing and doing a little magic with their feet and all of that to sort of get us into the groove for the Friday. Maybe later on Kaf and T will go over there and have some dancing lessons, guys. And so our cameras are going to cut across and we're going to see Endless in action, and then we'll come back here and then we'll have a feel of our cocktails. By the time we come back, my cocktail glass will be full. And so we are moving to Endless now, guys.
What can't you do? What won't you do? Nothing impossible. Nothing impossible. What can't you do? What won't you do? Nothing impossible with our God. You don't know.
So guys, you see, we don't disappoint. From the breakfast table, we went to do some dancing and we're back here, like I said. We're going to have a feel of what Constance and Mabel's cocktail looks like. But guys, look, this is another helping of how you can make your pancakes and your crepes look. This is how it look. So this is pancakes, this is crepes, this is chocolate filling. We have sliced apples. What's this, Constance?
Passion fruit. Okay,
so we have the passion fruit there. So there, and then we have flowery rosy there, and then this is how this one looks as well. So what cocktails are we making?
Okay, so I'm making melon, some small passion, and then pineapple. We're going to add a little mint to give it some minty flavor.
Okay, so while we are waiting for to put the cocktail together, guys, the lifestyle segment won't be possible if it wasn't for Airtel Tigo. Thank you, Airtel Tigo. So we're going to take a quick break to find out what Airtel Tigo has in store for Ghanaians, and then we can come back to the breakfast table and then have a feel of what our cocktail tastes like. So here's a quick break, guys.
This is Krokodu and his family. They have just won 10,000.
Okay, so there's a lot of hustle and bustle in studio behind the scenes. Everybody's pretty excited. And so Constance and Mabel are done with a cocktail. So this ideally goes with what Constance, what does the cocktail go with?
You can take a cocktail with croissant, with some sandwiches. Okay.
Okay. So this is what I've been waiting for all morning. Okay, so what's this cocktail called? Can I call it?
Give it a name. Give it a very interesting name.
Guys, what do you think we should call this cocktail? What's it made up of? There's pineapple in there.
There's mint.
There's mint. There's watermelon.
Yes.
Apple.
Yes.
Okay, so pineapple, watermelon, mint, apple. What do you think we should call this cocktail, guys? I have a couple of ideas, but we'll just wait. Right, and so we're going to do some more dancing, and I'm going to have a sip of this. So guys, we're going back to Endless, aka Dancing Champions, and so they are going to, what's that? Cheers, 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 guys. Cheers.
They call me up, I'm officially blown away. Can't control this joy again. No, you be season. Like money water. Today be today. This is the day. Lord,